Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, coming off a bit of a muted session yesterday. We had the S&P reach a fresh intraday high before pulling back to close little change at the end of the day. The NASDAQ was lower at the end of the session, and the Dow recording a slight gain as well. Q1 earnings season in full swing now. We had earnings from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo yesterday, all beating expectations. Citigroup, Bank of America today. We'll talk about those coming up. Both moving around in the pre-market here. We also got earnings from PepsiCo out in the pre-market as well. We'll talk about that. March retail sales data coming out here. Going to touch on that coming up. We'll watch some of the retailers this morning. They have been showing a little bit of strength over the past couple of sessions. Obviously, we'll get to Coinbase. Day two for Coinbase. There's actually not one, but two rather large IPOs coming today as well. That Too Simple and Aploven Corporation, which is APP, both well over $1 billion in value for IPOs today. So we'll talk about those. It's Thursday, April 15th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. As I mentioned, back in positive territory here for most North American markets. The NASDAQ leading the way, full percent. We have the Dow up 0.5%, S&P 0.6 at this point. TSX futures here in Toronto about 0.5% so far. Bitcoin back in positive territory. Crude oil coming off a big move yesterday. Back to the downside. Gold higher to start things off as well. Yeah, it was 4% at the end of the day. For oil yesterday, big move. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, a busy morning once again. Yeah, not one, but two IPOs to have a look at today. One in the mobile cellular arena, the other one, an autonomous truck company. I feel like we've had a few of those already.
Yeah, the latter that you mentioned, backed by Volkswagen, some other big players, UPS as well. So it should be interesting. I mean, if it opens up, it could always open up at like 3:59, and then we can trade it for 30 seconds, and the market will close. That would be interesting. But exciting day yesterday. I mean, that sort of goes without saying. Everyone looking at that Coinbase, what just unbelievable moves, and we'll go over some of what happened for those of you that didn't catch the afternoon show at 3:15, where we covered those trades, and we're sort of talking about the price action going into the close. And look, it did a fantastic little hold here at that 310. Just sort of gave like the swinger's paradise, puts in the higher low, and then it gives you that, essentially, depending on where you got in, anywhere from like an 8 to 10% move back to the upside, and seems it can't hold out some interesting levels. So a couple of IPOs today, of course, a big direct listing yesterday. A couple more bank earnings, although just sort of noting that even though BAC reported today, they'd already made a move in yesterday's action. So there's going to be a lot to watch. A lot of selling happened in yesterday's action. Cathie Wood taking off some Tesla and loading up, I think, 750,000 shares, if my math was right, into Coinbase on day one. Kind of curious what kind of prices she was able to get. And Richard Branson dumping some Virgin Galactic. I'll be looking to sell that one today. Well, for the day trading anyways. It should be a fun one again today here, Sean. As expected, we knew it was going to be exciting on Coinbase. It did not disappoint.
Yeah, no, it did not disappoint at all. Welcome, guys. It should be another fun day. Look, we're going to be trading Coinbase like crazy. I'm happy. Like yesterday at 4 o'clock, during the afternoon show, people asked me for some swing trades. So I said Square, that's up 2%. And then we also said NVIDIA, which is up 2% as well today. So anybody that took some of those, congratulations. That was the whole rhetoric yesterday. I said that we would have selling in names where people are taking off profit in order to play the Coinbase trade. So we had that yesterday. Everything was good to go. I don't think the market stumbled on themselves. I'm a little worried about oil taking off again and what that could mean for rates. And, might be time to trim something like a Microsoft or even like an NVIDIA now. I'm still long AMD. I mean, that was another swing call. Let's see where that is today. That's going to be up another 2.25%. So, wow, that was NVIDIA, 1.76%. So, yeah, money coming back into the market, but that was as expected. We have a few levels today that we're going to be looking at. We also have bank earnings, day two, Brendan, and they're all over the place today with, it looks like, a bunch of beats.
Yeah, Citigroup, very, very strong so far here in the pre-market. We'll talk about that definitely coming up. We'll talk about Inovio Pharmaceuticals, one of the original movers way back when the pandemic started, popping up this morning. Their vaccine showing positive efficacy results for both, or actually all three, the UK, the South African, and the Brazilian variants of COVID-19. So big move for INO here in the pre-market as well. Before we get any further, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, Brandon, and hi guys. I wish you a lot of profitable trading opportunities today and kindly remind you to subscribe to our channel and destroy the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's get it started. Yes, indeed, guys. We had Aphria and Tilray as well. They overwhelmingly approved the merger. The Aphria shareholders voted. The number I saw was 99.3%. Which is high. So that deal pretty much done. If anyone's wondering about Aphria and Tilray, I'll look up a finalization date or when that will combine. But neither of them are moving around tremendously at this point in the pre-market. But yeah, lots of bank earnings. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo yesterday. We get Bank of America. We get Citigroup today. Both with decent moves here, guys.
I mean, yesterday we missed the Wells Fargo trade. I think we got something very, very similar on Bank of America today on BAC. They're all near at their highs, 52-week highs right now. 40.50 was the spot there in the pre-market that we had. Just a big beat today for them. Up nicely. I mean, it's only up 0.78%. We don't expect bank stocks to act. I mean, you're going to see Citigroup up more than this, but we don't expect bank stocks to go crazy on this. They've just been priced for perfection, like I said, very, very similar to, I mean, I've been touting being long JPM sub 100, but this is just as good, like $23, $24 up to 40. I mean, this is better. This is a double, so that's a beautiful trade to the top side right now on BAC. Priced almost to perfection. If they missed, we would have gone sub 39. So you do have that sitting here, 39. I think that we have this level. I don't think it was bad enough. I mean, it was fine. We can review the numbers, but they probably were on the bottom there at some point. But you can see here, there's some clusters at the top side. So if we can break back down below this, I'll give it all the way to 39. That would be sort of the kill spot, which is only $1 from here. But we're going higher. So yesterday we stopped out at 40 right here. That's a beautiful base. Now you're coming back into it. I think we just get long anywhere around here, like 39, 80, even a bit lower if we could do that. And then you just use the base of yesterday's starting point of $39. So I like JP Morgan, I like JP Morgan, but I like BAC through the top of 40.50. I think it takes it out. Just quickly, I'll give Citigroup over to Neil. BAC, there it is. Okay, so it's a little bit of a sell. So we'll see if that changes our opinion. And JPM is a buy. And unfortunately, I don't see Citigroup here yet.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I mean, you see AMC at the top of that imbalance list. It's a little bit early, of course, and it's moving to the upside, approaching that $10 range. I mean, BAC is probably a better day trade. I say that reluctantly because historically, like back in the olden days when Sean and I had or back on our old floor, it used to be like a horrible day trade stock for us at BAC. But Citigroup, it's going to be very, very similar. I mean. Look, you're going to look at it off those highs, 76.25, going to be a bit of a top on an intraday, and then you look at 75 here, sort of rounding out today's action on the 15-minute. A little bit of consolidation above there. I think you'd look for a dip around 74, although the levels I wrote down were mostly for BAC, 41 long break, 39.60 to the downside. Citigroup is going to be worth that watch, at least for today's action. They triple bagged it on net income, and impressive numbers, which I think everyone was expecting with the banks. The one thing that I'd watch is just, you have to, if you're going to be trading the banks or you're going to be looking for entry points in the banks, you have to watch out for where the treasury is going to be, and it's been in that like 1.6 to 1.75 range. And I don't see too many people concerned with the idea that 1.6 would break and you'd break the lower end of the range. So I would watch to see if that does happen. I mean, if that does happen in the next little bit here, you could see a bit of a surprise pullback in the bank. So I mean, I'm a buyer of these levels either way, and I'm going to be looking to only go long. And it's likely to be in BAC, but I'm not going to ignore Citigroup whatsoever, just in case it does lag. It doesn't have a ton of pre-market volume. But either way, the banks are going to be in play. And I'm also going to revisit Wells Fargo, which was, it was a great opportunity yesterday. It was a great short off the open. There was a breakout long as well. We shouldn't get away from them just because they're not in play today.
All right, we will revisit all of the banks. We'll revisit Coinbase, obviously coming up, and get a little bit further into some technical. Sean, you have something?
No, I just want to interrupt quickly because there's actually a major event happening on the chat right now and snuck it in there. And I want to say congratulations. Where is it? Get up here. Congratulations to Eric. Sean, had my second kid last night. Congratulations for that. We'll hit the confetti. Live streaming from the recovery room. So there you go. So congratulations to Eric and congratulations to all our hardcore and go square go. Yeah, hey, that was a pickup that we made last night. We talked about that for a swing trade. And congratulations, Eric. Your new baby boy or girl has brought you some luck here in square, but let's not put that luck to anything forward. We don't know about the market. But congratulations, Eric. Thank you for streaming this from the recovery room. I hope your wife is happy as well.
Yes, absolutely. I echo that. Congratulations, Eric, and dedication. I love it. We have a very special guest. We're very happy to welcome him back to the show, one of the original supporters of Trader TV Live, one of the original guests of Trader TV Live. It's the one and only VP of OTC Markets. Jeff Mendel is back on the show. We're so happy to have Jeff joining us this morning. Good to see you, my friend. Let's talk a little bit about OTC markets from a higher standpoint here. Anyone who might not be familiar with the platform, with the exchange, with the market itself, just give everyone a rundown how OTC markets operates, why some of the symbols come to OTC markets, and how that happens.
Brendan, thank you for the great introduction, first of all. Before I get into that, I just want to say a couple things about the show and how it's progressed over the years. I mean, I've been speaking with you guys, and we've been doing, things to help kind of promote trading and just the marketplace in general, not even just over the counter, everything, right, with you guys for the past few years. And then, I remember when Trader TV was just a little cocktail table in the middle of the trading floor up in Toronto. And, we had a couple really cool webcams pointed at us and we were just doing interviews and who knows, how many subscribers they had then, but now over 200K. I love it. I love it. So
we appreciate the kind words, Jeff. Thank you.
So I just want to throw this out there. I think the first time you guys went mainstream was probably around 2 years ago now, maybe a little more, a little less. So let's say April 2019, GBTC was trading at about $4.50. Now it's at 51. Obviously Bitcoin is the main reason for driving that, but what an amazing growth story. And it's also just been a great security for us to trade and for you guys to trade as well. I know I always see you guys throwing out GBTC and throwing size around up there. So love to see that and want you guys to keep that going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard not to, trade all things crypto these days with the movements that we've seen with, some of the other coins coming back to life as well. I know there's an Ethereum offering as well on OTC markets. Why don't you give everyone a rundown on that?
Yeah, so it's not just GBTC. We also have ETHE, which is the Ethereum grayscale product. We also have LTCN, which is the Litecoin grayscale product. There's a few others as well too. Those three had the most liquidity in there. And so now, kind of jump into how our marketplace works, right? The nice thing about those three instruments is it allows you to trade them just as it allows you to trade crypto essentially the same way that you would trade regular equities, right? Because these things are trusts that are packaged to allow you to actually trade them as equities on your platform as well too, right? So every time you guys send in an order, if it's a limit order away from the market, it's actually displayed out on our quote feed, right? So other people can see when you are willing to buy and sell those names, right? And so, one of the nice things about that is you guys have the ability to wait for price movements to essentially, make your own market in those names, right? The other nice thing about the platform is it allows you to see the other people who are willing to do the same thing. So when you're trying to take advantage of a quick move, you can go out there and you can see OTCX, or ECN in the marketplace, and know that you have liquidity available at your fingertip, right? When you see OTCX out there and you want to take that offer or hit that bid, you can do it immediately and it's instant, right? When you send that order in, it's matched against the other side as well too. So that's one thing that we've talked about on the show in the past, but now more than ever with all the craziness in Bitcoin, I think it's really helping traders overall.
I know there's two other guys here that really want to say hi because it's been way too long, Jeff. But why don't you quickly give us a rundown of some of the recent symbols that we've seen some activity in?
The three that I mentioned, GBTC, ETHE, and LTCN are good names, especially GBTC. But then there's names that have been moving around for years. Tencent, TCEHY. It's one of the biggest companies in the world, and it happens to trade on OTC markets. I know that you guys are active in it, and the best part about it is it has that same liquidity that a GBTC does, possibly even more, right? And so you have all the big players, all the big funds that are starting to incorporate in there, and so it's only going to grow, right? And you're only going to see more participants and more opportunity in it as well too, in the years to come.
There he is, Jeff. Welcome back to the show. It's good to see you, a longtime friend of the show for sure. Very quickly, if you could, because we get this question a lot of times, and I know for sure we've asked you before when you've been on here, just a little bit about when something comes listed to the OTC markets, maybe that little transition that might come from another market into the OTC. Just a little bit how that process plays out, because I know a lot of people will always have questions around it, and just a little tiny background on it. And I also noted, I don't know if you mentioned Luckin Coffee, but they're in the news today. Luckin just got an investment deal, so that might actually be in play as well. I just threw it up here because another listing I know some traders might be interested in.
So I actually do have Luckin Coffee up on my screen, and I was going to bring that up, but thank you for stealing my thunder. But yeah, so Luckin Coffee is one of those stories, right? So I mean, you all know what happened with Luckin. We don't need to get into that, right? But one of the things that we were able to benefit on from the trading side was, Luckin, when it delisted off the exchange, it came down to the over-the-counter market, and basically there was no blip in trading, right? One day it was trading as LK, and then the next day it was trading as an ADR on our platform, right? So, and you guys had access to it, and you were able to continue trading on the volatility that was happening in the name at the time, right? It may go back up to the exchange, but for now, it's going to keep trading down here, and you guys will be able to access liquidity on OTCX and from our other participants, right? Until that happens, and so when that process gets started, right? It's all initiated by FINRA, right? Which is the regulator for the over-the-counter space, and so when something is going to come down from NASDAQ or NYSE, FINRA puts out a notice. They also put out a new symbol, and they make sure that everyone is well aware. All the retail firms, all the broker dealers are well aware that this is going to happen. So you don't wake up one day and then you're starting to send orders in the old symbol on the listed exchange, right? Everyone knows that it's coming to the marketplace. At least with a 1 day kind of head start, right? And so them doing that and then us helping them get the word out, right? It makes it so you guys as an active trader firm can continue to play in those names.
Exactly, and of course, to everyone out there, like when they find themselves in that position, maybe with their retail account, always check in with your broker just to see what your particular situation might be here. Of course, we're actively trading. You know what it's all about here. And look, I'm not gonna. I usually send a dig here, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, but you know what? I am gonna say it. Your Cowboys stink. The Bills are going to win the Super Bowl this year, because that's how I always like to end it. But honestly, thank you for coming through. I can't say it enough here. It's always a lot of fun, and keep letting us know when symbols are on the move for sure. Like Luckin is going to be in play today. It does seem like, and there's some good volume on some of those OTC names for sure on a daily basis, guys. So I'm going to throw you over to Sean, because I know he wants to say a quick hi and some words to you as well, there, Jeff.
Yeah, I just want to say, hey, what's up, Jeffrey? And I'm just excited for you to, hopefully we can start traveling again. I still remember going to get that nice meatball sandwich and a couple of little pizza slices here on Bay Street. So we are looking forward to having you back on. Guys, where's there we go. There he is. Yeah, and I also want to say congratulations. The last time we saw you, we weren't sure if there was any barbers available in the state of New York, but I guess on the reopen, all is well. But you're looking handsome as ever, and I just want to thank you. It's great to have you back on. And can you make a promise that maybe we would make this maybe a couple times a month thing where we can review OTC markets and get you back on, Jeff?
Looking forward to it, Sean. Thank you.
Great. Jeff Mendel. Oh, have you been golfing yet? I meant to ask you.
A couple times we go this weekend, so yeah, it should be fun. How are things up there on the course?
You know, we're trying to go out for the first time this weekend, but some people have been out already, and it's actually pretty good. We touched about 20 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good, you know, in this high 60s, 70s last week, and now we're hovering, you know, about 11, 12 degrees. But you know what? You got to get out there, get some exercise, and get going. But Jeff Mendel, Vice President OTC Markets, thank you so much, my friend, and it's great to see you and really energetic, and thank you for the kind words that you had about the beginning of the show. And guys, Jeff has been here from day one. So again, Jeff, thank you so much.
And I'll be back on before you hit 250.
Yeah, yes, you will. Thank you, Jeffrey. Have a great day, and thanks for all your hard work, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, guys, let's go to upgrades and downgrades for today. A couple of interesting names on here. Hershey at the top, UPS here. Cheesecake Factory as well was a big mover at the end of last year. Bed Bath & Beyond earnings yesterday on this one. To the downgrade side, Diamondback and Broadstone at the bottom of the downgrades, guys.
So I just wanted to, QS here just tanked down. We'll wait till Brendan to get back on his
Short seller report by Scorpion.
Yeah, I saw someone say that. I saw someone post it in there. So we'll wait to see a short seller report. So I just dumped, I just dumped my last buy. So I only holding a third. I got out of it at about 37.50 there, 37-ish, something like that. I'll check the fill later, but that's from my 41.87 buy or something. So that's going to be like a 10-15% hit right there. I just don't want to be involved in this name right now. We've seen what can happen when short seller reports come out. Not to say that it's going to be right or wrong. I mean, I like the idea of QuantumScape. I like what they're doing with the batteries, and you know, I think it's new technology. I like it. I know Volkswagen's in there, but without reading the report, I'm going to kind of like shoot first, ask questions later on this one, because I don't want to hold it. It's already been a real bad looking chart here, and I was just, you know, taking a shot at it here at 40, trying to think if it was going to hold it. And I just think part of being disciplined and not, I mean, we can get 10% back on another name, even if it's 15%, depending where you bought it. It's not a huge hit. I don't need to see this thing go back down to 20, 30, you know, somewhere down here off of this kind of a report. Who knows if people start piling onto it. If there is something in the report and it gets defended, we can always get back in. I mean, I'll give up this 15, 20%, whatever it was, 42 to 37. We'll figure $5 on 42. So, you know, whatever that percentage is there, we'll give that up. And I just think that that's being smart here. So, you know, and I would do the same thing to any of my, see here it goes even down now, 36.90. I think I do this to any of my position. It's not about the stock. It's just, we've seen what can happen. I mean, you saw Lordstown, just to give you guys an example here with Ride. Of course, that's a NASDAQ stock. We saw that come out. We've seen Nikola. We've seen a whole bunch of nasty, nasty reports come out. And I think, you know, the short seller report on Ride, I believe it must have been a couple weeks ago, like so 14, 15, you know, now you're down to 11. We'll find out exactly. It could have been here, 13.50. Either way, it hasn't really recovered yet. So we're going to give QS a little bit of time, but I just want to let you guys know that, hey, I can't tell you I'm buying something and then when I'm not selling it, you know, so I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. We did get out of QS there on that bad report. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for that, because honestly, if I wasn't paying attention to the chat, we was doing so many more things, I wouldn't have noticed that. So there goes QS to the downside. Be careful today trading this thing. I think we got to go short.
Terribly friendly language from them either, guys. I can show you the tweet here from Scorpion Capital. They're comparing them to Theranos, that what was that drug company? They were processing blood samples, and she's going to end up going to jail. So they're comparing it to that. So it's
harsh as it gets.
Yeah, that's not very friendly. But yeah, they have a whole report. You can go to
down more, to be honest.
Go to scorpioncapital.com. Apparently, you can read it if you feel like it. But we'll keep an eye on QS, guys. If you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for the absolutely free to you every single day watch list. We send it out before we come on at 8:30 every single morning. Has all the stocks worth looking at. And then you join us at 8:30 for things like QS that pop up before the market gets open. Let's talk about Coinbase, guys. Lackluster. I was trying to come up with the best word for how it debuted yesterday. It certainly wasn't a positive debut. I mean, the initial move was, but it ends the day basically on session lows. It was 14% off the opening price, but we are back to the upside today.
Look, it's interesting to call something like a story like Coinbase like lackluster, because like the simple fact that it holds a valuation over 100 million for as long as it did, challenging a market capitalization of Square at one point during the day. Obviously, I don't think it is anymore, but and the fact that major investors, and we talked about Kathy Wood jumping in on the way to the downside, no idea where, but for a large position for 3 of their funds. Overall, it's a success story in a lot of ways, but the trading is what we're here to talk about. And we all were looking at this one at the open, and it was interesting. It was interesting with that initial fill, of course, but you couldn't have lost money on it, let's put it that way, unless you just simply held and had no reason. Well, I mean, you had tons of reason to get it, especially at that 425. I got very, very fortunate to have gotten top wick out, and that was only because I had covered all of my 380s, I'd covered my 400 break, but then I got back in on a 425 break, and it just immediately had less. Look, there was no speed to it. The bid wasn't chasing it up. I got out, and if you didn't get out, I mean, I'm telling you, that one candle right there was almost no way to short it. I was just like a deer in headlights. Like, how was it already going down so fast? So it is what it is. There was a great and fantastic, the 360 breakdown, the 350 breakdowns were fantastic. I got out of them way too fast, especially 375. So I can let Sean talk about actually holding on to one of those shorts. I can't believe I didn't. But the double bottom was interesting. We talked about this at 315. When it put in that 310 and then again bounced off of 310, there was a breakout at 320. But there was no offer. Like, you couldn't get into it unless you were crossing up well over $1. So you had to be super aggressive. And then 320 was an unbelievable hold. I had some orders down there for a bit of a stop if it would have flushed through 320, and it just pinged off that exact number a couple of times. So there's some levels to think about if it ever got to the downside and broke this 345, which is going to stand out like a sore thumb. It was top on that move in the afternoon, and it's currently about that pre-market low. If we get through there, I mean, clearly you can only work off the levels from yesterday, obviously. So we're looking at 320 and 310 as your support, and then 345 is right here off at the open. I'd let that break. I wouldn't necessarily buy in front of that because we're essentially right here. I'd rather buy in a little bit of a dip. And then you kind of come back to that 360 level. I mentioned it because it was such a good breakdown price. It seems to me like if it was a good breakdown price, it's a good breakup price as well, Sean.
Yeah, we have the chart up here. I tweeted this out yesterday. This is how I traded Coinbase. We tweeted this out at 2:32. We didn't trade it too much on the after show. I don't believe we were waiting for some big in the after show, in the afternoon show. We were waiting for some big levels, but there's the IPO price there, 381. We got it. We got out right away for half about for $8, and then we busted through the 400 level. We took that out at 405, and then we let that whole piece run all the way up to 430, where we didn't do anything about it. And then I was just saying, you know what? If it breaks 420 back to the downside, because it just kept taking out levels like 400, 405. Like each one of these bars is literally $5. So you get 80s, 90s, 95, up to 400, 405, 410. You see how it's just like everything is $5. And this one's like 10 up to 430. So I was like, you know what? Let's give this a little bit more room. We were going to get out if it went above 430 and crashed, but we gave it to 420. And then all the way back down, this would have been a good spot to short again through 400 as a test. And then we finally got short here, 385, as we noticed a clump there. So we got short first, and then we got short again on the break. So we got out on the IPO price, and then as it broke, we got back in, covered some of that for $5 or $6 at 375, and then I thought I was doing pretty good covering at 360 the last piece before it dropped down evidently to that 310 level. So that's how I traded coin yesterday. And now, okay, that's just a daily chart. That doesn't matter. Neil just hit the levels, so it doesn't really matter. He got them. 360, I think you got to take that out. That's the level that I got out yesterday right there before this happened. And then you do have 345 sort of on the downside, which is kind of where we've been talking about right here for the daily chart. So that's all I wrote down. And then, of course, the levels on way lower are obvious. I mean, 310 was yesterday's low. I would say that you take a long in front of that, see if it breaks. If it does, watch out for 300. Give yourselves $10 worth of room. And then the same thing can be said here for 320. If 320 doesn't hold, then I think you got to get out somewhere in the middle and then retake it at 310. But I don't think, honestly, I think Coinbase rockets today. I'm not even worried about any downside. I just want to make sure I get this long through 360.
All right, let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a chat about the overall market, check out the futures, see what levels we need to be aware of this morning. As far as the overall market is concerned, Arun, what are you looking at today?
Well, talk about resilience, right? This market's pretty impressive. A bunch of numbers came out around 8:30. Pretty impressive, all of them. We had the Philly Fed manufacturing number. We had the kind of not the continuing jobless claims, the jobless claims portion of the report there, and also the retail says pretty impressive. So you see this move up. We're looking pretty strong to start the day. But at the same time, these are within the bounds that I've been looking at since yesterday. Remember, yesterday I gave you 41.50 as the point that I wanted to kind of keep an eye on because there was a decent amount of selling around that 41.40. We've gotten above it. We've hit some stops above it, but we're still kind of hesitating here. So I want to see how much strength is left. If we can take out this 41.50, then we have a chance to get going. At that point, you kind of have to just wait and see how the levels develop because there really isn't a whole lot to the downside you can work with. But if we do fall off of this area once again, we fell off in the latter half of the day yesterday. If we fall off once again today, I think you take another shot at the short. It's worth it at that point because you could potentially get a double top, which might go towards the lows of yesterday in terms of risk reward. Pretty decent, right? You're going to risk about 10 to 15 points and you have about 20 to 25 points in upside. So I would keep an eye on the shorts. I want to see how much strength is left. But again, the market's strong. NASDAQ's up 1%. ES is up almost 2/3%. The market's really resilient and we're getting continued buy support every time we drop. So I just want to see how much is left. If we can find some selling, maybe a short with the 41.50 as a stop. But if we don't, we keep going up, just wait and see.
Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. We are under 30 minutes until the open, guys. Let's continue along with what is moving around in the pre-market. Dell Technologies, big mover here. They came out this morning and announced plans to spin off VMware. We talked about this, I think it was the end of last year. Was the first time there was kind of rumors floating around that this could happen. Now it is actually going to happen. There's going to be an $11.5 to $12 billion special dividend. What does this mean, guys? I guess in general, we can look at VMW, we can look at Dell individually, but I mean, obviously a positive thing here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's sort of been waiting for Dell to get this done, and look, shore up their their debt situation. It's as far as the catalyst for the day trade. I'm not so much past the point of thinking that this hasn't given you what it's going to give you. That's my initial thought. That's my initial thought of it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, you're going to get the spike. I think everyone kind of felt like this was going to be coming. Yeah, so certainly that 11.5 billion, 11.5 to 12.5, I think you said, is going to be welcomed. Not a lot of pre-action movement. I do feel like there could be some profit taking on this day. It's just, it would seem to me like it would make a little sense to like 99.5 and then 99.5, I should say, if there was a bit of a breakdown. But when the stock's at 163,000, when it's got a bit of a spread, is that the style of trade I want to do, or do I want to catch it in a bit of consolidation? So, I mean, if you're already holding Dell, I mean, I could see a reason why you just want to hang on. But for me, I wouldn't be entering it at this point. In particular, it's not a sexy day trading stock either. So for me, it's going to be a stay away. If there was one play I'd be looking at, it would be to short like a 99.50 and just see if it can't take some of this back in, and you simply give it back to like 100 or 150, one of those two levels. Something like that off the open would make some sense to me in Dell, but the volume not fantastic, and it's already made its run.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about it. Like Neil said, if you're in it, congratulations. I mean, don't ring the register, just keep it. You're going to get that special dividend. I don't really see too much of a day trade for that. When you get news like that and it's about pricing and it's about, releasing and unlocking value, we don't really know where that is. So I think Dell may be a second day play there. VMware, another good look, obviously, to trade that stock as well. I was just looking at Coinbase here. I thought it was getting ready to break this level. I'm not going short. I told you I don't want to go short today. I put some bids here at 338 or so. I thought it was going to break, so that's why I sort of came over to it. And I just was wondering what does happen if it breaks this 348 and then breaks 345. Do we just tank down here off the open. We don't have any NASDAQ imbalances yet, guys, so we'll see those at 928. The big boy here, Palantir, on the board as well as Space, Virgin Galactic. We'll get to all these names in a minute, but yeah, for me, Dell is just going to be a no-show. Now, you're up so much, it's 8%. I think it was relatively unexpected, but again, we knew they were going to do something with VMware. I like the special dividend from 92 upside. I mean, maybe if you break this 101.58, but look, there's people that cover these things and they just know more about the pricing and what these assets are really worth. So for me, the value's been unlocked. Congratulations, anybody with Dell. And I just don't think 164,000 shares doesn't super excite me. And we will watch it though. If it gets above this 101.58 there, that's pretty good. So 101.50 to me is good. And then we have some consolidation here, 97, 98. That might be a good holding spot. But again, I choose to stay away from these on day one, Brendan.
All right, let's go back to earnings land. We had, as mentioned, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo yesterday. Bank of America and Citigroup, the big ones for today as far as banks are concerned on the earnings front. Bank of America reported decent numbers, a jump in first quarter profit. Net income was $7.56 billion or 86 cents per share compared with 3.5 a year ago, guys.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think it's just going to be another win for the banks, but we'll see how they trade. We saw yesterday WFC was really the beast, and JP Morgan was like the lamb. It didn't do much. I think they were both, one was up 2 and a bit percent, one was down about 1%, and we called those ones right. We did have the JPM short, and then the WFC we called long that we missed. You guys know about that one. And then so today, I think, look, 86 cents versus 66, that's good enough for me. 58 billion EMC acquisition. Yeah, that's the Dell. Sorry, was reading the wrong note there. 3.4 billion net income rose. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good number. I don't have a problem with BAC, but right here, I am looking at these levels right in here, like $40 is where we stopped around yesterday. We just retested 40 right now. So this bottom note here, 39.83, 39.80 to the downside. You did have some resistance at 39.50 yesterday. If you look at a daily chart, it's just nothing but upside. We reviewed this a little bit already today. So I think you do have a bottom 39.50, the very bottom 39. I think it's definitely worth taking a stab here at BAC on better earnings. We saw, I mean, I'll just go back to WFC yesterday. You know, we had an opinion that they were going to be long yesterday, and then you saw what it did all morning. It based out here. I'm hoping that BAC can do the same thing. And then we took out that high, which was right here. Where was it? 14.40.25 right there, the high of the previous day. And then once that happened, it was basically just baseline all afternoon. And now you get upside again. So I'm looking for the same kind of reaction out of BAC where hopefully we could base out here, 40.41, something like that, 40.10, you know, down to 39.50, something like that before we rip off and take this out. So if we're going to do the same kind of play, I think you just got to go long right around here, man, 40.25, 40.35, something like that, but the ultimate top being that 40.50. So let's take out yesterday's high of 40.32 first, and then we'll smash this thing at 40.50.
Yeah, and sort of coming to Citigroup here, I mean, they beat by 40% in terms of EPS. And look, I mean, all the banks beat, and there are different stories to be had there, and you get the trading side of it, and then you get the more traditional commercial banks as well, and having different reactions. It is worth noting, kind of roughly was saying out there that the 10-year could push towards the bottom end of that range. It did dip, and it touched that 1.6, and I think that was a little bit of a pullback. You saw it on BAC's chart there, and not quite as big on Citigroup, and Citigroup holding up in the pre-market a little bit better, so it's showing a little bit more strength. I mean, Goldman was kind of like that yesterday. So, I mean, initially I was sort of looking at that 75 area as a bit of a base of operations, and then of course you did have like a breakdown and then a bit of a consolidation a little bit lower than this. So I don't know that we're going to have that notion of immediate breakthrough like 75.30 and then super tight stop back into 75 when realistically the support came into 74.80. So that might be a slight change for me on a Citigroup break. I do like, I'm sort of with Sean. I mean, I kind of prefer like the base out, buy on the weakness for something like a BAC, and then maybe play the break on a Citigroup type of play. But BAC is, I think, a much better day trading vehicle at least. So for me, I'm going to look for a small break on Citigroup. I don't necessarily love the notion of going short through 74.80 on Citi, so I'm going to stay away from that. I wouldn't blame anybody that wanted to see if there was a bit of a pullback, but it just showed a little more strength in that slight move when Treasuries dipped there. And I think you want to dip, but you want to buy dips on value in that like 3960 on BAC. But watch, it's 75.30. That's top side on Citigroup. I would just move the stop down a little bit.
Citigroup's report was actually much more impressive than Bank of America. Tripled net income, tripled for Citigroup. Pepsi, guys, let's go to Pepsi, another one that reported, speaking of stocks that aren't really doing much in the pre-market here. Better than expected results for Citigroup. They pointed to their North American operations, specifically Frito-Lay. A lot of people sitting at home during the pandemic eating chips, apparently. So big numbers here for Pepsi.
Not me. We don't need a lot of chips in the house. But look, the thing about Pepsi is there's some stocks are good, boring stocks. And I think Pepsi probably qualifies that. I'm going to zoom out so you can kind of get a look at, what is this? Yeah, there's this ugly way. Pepsi never traded at $42. Look, this is the bottom and pandemic lows of like 102 on Pepsi. And if you want to find, like, I can't, off the top of my head, a big cap name that did less in terms of a downward move and then had a solid recovery and then it's just been sideways. I can't think of anything that's exactly like Pepsi in this regard. It's really about it's a safe play, it's a dividend play. I don't know that there's going to be too much of a day trade because what are you breaking out to? I think if we ever had like any kind of a serious pullback in the market, you might actually find some levels to go short in this name. But unless it somehow miraculously starts grinding towards 150 and then starts breaking out, which I don't see happening in Pepsi anytime soon, I don't know that there's going to be a day trade. But look, you're almost always going to want stocks like this in your portfolio to a certain extent because they provide you with safety and comfort and a solid dividend. That's all I would say about Pepsi. There's everything to like about that. I just don't see that you're going to have a day trade. There might be one if it were to ever if we got some weakness in the overall market, maybe you could troll like a 140 on a breakdown. But again, I just don't see any of that happening today.
Yeah, I see some talk on that. We're already hydrating right now, right, Valeria? We got the Hydration Nation, and then we got the Kirkland right here as well. So we're Vitamin Nation and we're Hydration Nation right now. Yeah, Pepsi's not even on my list. People asking for the sticky note. I have Coinbase 320 support, 360 breakout, BAC. We've already covered that. I want to see WFC at 42.50. Citigroup, let's see if it can hold that 76 level, but we're going long before that anyways. Great report on that. We'll look at Square through 264. We like that a lot. Palantir through 24.75. Look, I'm trying to put this on the show so that people can get rewarded for watching the show. I will put it on Twitter. I'm just showing you guys here. And then the big one too, PaySafe at the bottom. I just put in that order. Since we're in the banking sector, Brendan, if you don't mind, I'm just going to talk about this quickly before we get back to, I know we just did Pepsi, but PaySafe right here. I think it's very similar. It's not a Coinbase, it's not a Square, it's not a PayPal, but it's something similar to Square and to PayPal. So yesterday, they did have a big bump off, rate when, in anticipation of Coinbase, and then you saw what happened to Coinbase. And look when this started. Basically, this is Coinbase IPO right here. 121 it started. So here it comes, and it just got hit down. What a great buy that was yesterday afternoon. I believe PaySafe moons eventually. I'm actually going to take my money out of QS. Well, I just already did. What is QS doing now anyways? I still have a third of the position. Okay, so that's good. I want to take that money out and put it into PaySafe. That's how much I believe in this name. And let's just see where it goes from now. It's been really, it never, 19 is not true. It never got going. It was basically just what it was. It's BFT. You guys may remember it from there. Big in Europe, big in the UK, and we'll just see they're also big into gambling sites like DraftKings and whatnot. They have Skrill and NetTeller. So lots of opportunities for PaySafe. I'm just waiting for them to announce something. They're already in crypto, but waiting for them to announce more about that, and then we'll see. Hopefully this thing take out. But I'm liking a 14.25 break. Probably going to happen before market. We're going to hold it all the way back down. I don't really care where it goes. We're going to hold it down to yesterday's low. It's not going to break this, I don't think. 13.65. So well worth the risk here today. I think 65 cents of downside for much more upside. Let's see if PaySafe breaks through 14.25.
All right, we've had a lot, to say the least, of questions. A lot of people asking about this Too Simple company that's coming to market today over the past week or so. It's finally here. It's about $8 billion. Looks like $1 billion on the IPO, but it's coming to market with an $8.5 billion valuation. This is an autonomous truck company. They're targeting 2024, guys, for production on self-driving delivery type trucks.
Yeah, look, they've got some big backers behind them there in that little group, and you guys can see that all on the free watch list, of course. It's all laid out there, but the timing of it's interesting. And don't get me wrong, we look at those IPOs, and if it's in the right space, there was one we missed yesterday that was like a 10% move. He just took the opening print, and we're all watching it and waiting for Coinbase. So it's certainly going to be worth it because the interest is there. I just sort of question the timing. You're seeing under pressure. I mean, QuantumScape today. Nikola yesterday. If I can pull up that chart to see how bad it's actually gotten for Nikola down here at like $12. So you're seeing the EV space under some pressure, and then you saw like Tesla had some shares dumped. And then overall, I love these sort of game changers, and I think eventually you have to start picking some winners. It's an interesting stock. I don't know too much about the company in general. I do have some friends in trucking that are going to tell me a little bit about it, but I'm very, very likely to just keep it very, very simple in thinking about, okay, let's just play this as you get that open, you're looking for initial momentum, you're looking for buy support. It's an IPO, not a direct listing, right? So it's a very decent chance you find that opening support, and then you're just looking for that usual like first move. Like no matter what happens the rest of the time, like even this is a SPAC in Nikola, but no matter what happens, if there's any kind of support off that first initial look, as long as it's not opening like 100% higher, which usually scares me away, I like taking that opening print and then giving it to that first level of support. Hopefully there's some size down there. And in yesterday's action, I think you got an opening print and then risk 20 cents to make a 10% move. It was like $4 or $5. So I mean, I'm going to take a shot. I'll probably take a shot at this one. I don't know when it's going to open up though. We try to have them before the end of the show, but they just can't seem to get it done. Brendan had a really good idea. They should open up the books right at 4:01. And then everyone will be ready to trade in the morning the next day. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I still think they should just do the whole paired off idea. We could see how many shares get paired off. And then like if they were waiting for 10 million yesterday in Coinbase, then we can sort of get an idea of when it would go, because then we can tell you, oh, it's 8 million, it's 9 million, and then we know it's within 10 minutes or so. But that's going to be a good name. I'm going to go long. We'll test it. Hopefully it comes out before the show. Someone tweeting, and I'm just seeing people here on the chat. What about my QS? So first of all, thanks for following the positions that I'm putting on Twitter. I think that's huge. And I've just tweeted out that I'm out. I got out at 33% or 66%. We're holding a third still of this name, and it could go to hell. I mean, I'm not in it too deeply. I don't put too much money in these kind of names, but I mean, we have to be prudent on this. So I don't like that short seller report that just came out. I was reading a little bit about it there. We'll just see, like Scorpion Capital. I don't know much about them, but it wasn't overly nice, and we'll just wait to see here what does happen. Calling it a scam and Theranos and all those kind of things. I don't like that kind of talk. They could be completely wrong. Obviously, I believe Scorpion probably has a crap ton of puts in this thing, and they probably got scared away when it was trying to bounce here to 4. I mean, we bought at 41, and it did bounce to 44, 45. So you could have got out there, but we weren't. We're waiting for longer term. So we throw out the 10% that we made on it, and then now it looks like we just did lose that 10% on the last end of it. So we're out of QuantumScape. People saying, where do you look to pick it up? I'm not looking to pick this up at all. I'm just going to wait to see. I said, let's give it a couple days. Neil just looked at Nikola there. We talked about Ride. You've seen Neo. Like Neo had a short seller report from our friends at Citron. That didn't work out too well for them, although now it is because it's all the way back down. But if I don't remember correctly, it was before the new year when they came out with that, or just after in January. I'm going to have to clear the cache on this one. But the point is that we need to have a few days to sort of absorb this. And then if someone comes out, like if Goldman or somebody that's covering QS comes out and says, hey guys, this report is a little bit too much, it's too over the top, then we can at that point assess and get back in. But for right now, I'm not trying to pick up a falling sword. We are out of it, and I just want to give you guys that little update on my QS position.
All right, let's go to the next one here, which is going to be NVIDIA, guys. Back on watch this morning with an upgrade from Raymond James. They went all the way to strong buy. That was already up from outperform. So another strong day setting up for NVIDIA. $750 on the price target from Raymond James, guys.
I just want to quickly, I know you're going to have some words on NVIDIA, but Coinbase just broke that 345, and then an iceberg at 345 right here now. I was going to give this a little bit more room. I shorted it at 75, got the spread when it opened up. But if it breaks this 45 iceberg, I'm not even going to hold it against me, I don't think. I've seen it start chewing at this level now 3 times, and then there's somebody who just keeps on selling some shares there. So when I see that happen, and it's pre-market, like 10 minutes to the open, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and not give it anything more than the 25 pennies plus slippage to that short trade. And 100%, of course. I mean, I'll be looking at yesterday's close. I mean, if it gets anywhere near to that like 330 mark or before the open, I'll probably take some out in front of 340. I'll probably take some out in front of 330 as well, even though there's that 320 support. But very, very tight stop here on that iceberg order at 345.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA was a swing. Yeah, good trade there. I mean, again, I'm waiting for to get some long near the bottom of Coinbase. So we'll see if that does come in. I just did refresh. I refreshed my daily chart. I don't know what's going on there. I apologize. Can't look at the daily. Yesterday, NVIDIA was on there. We talked about this. I mean, I just wrote down, this is from yesterday's notes, NVIDIA swing, square swing. We were asked about that near the end of the day, and I said, let's pick some positive names that have been going lately. So there it is. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can get out of your QS for a 10% loss, but then you just kind of make it back. That's a bit longer than I thought. But then you just make it back here. It's not back, but you can make daily plays where you grab this 2%, 1%, whatever, and you can be wrong as well. And I want to say thank you to somebody here in the chat. It was Toby right here. Thank you so much for these kind words. And it's not even that they're kind words. Well, this part is you are the man. That's whatever. But losses, this is what I'm talking about. Losses in this business are normal, right? And we're not going to call every single top, every single bottom, and you just sort of got to work with what you do have. And I think NVIDIA is a good example of that. We saw weakness yesterday. Today it gets bumped right back up. And yeah, it's just going to keep on going. NVIDIA's high. We can go to the daily chart for this, I guess. Doesn't really matter what the past was. We bounced off a whole bunch of times here at 630. So I like a 630 break, especially if the NASDAQ is going to be strong. Check out AMD for some headwinds. Well, they had headwinds with that last report from NVIDIA when they crushed everybody. But right now, AMD can pick up some tailwinds from NVIDIA and start to go back to the upside. So we're really excited about all of these holdings. I love the SMH. I love the semis. I think that we know that there's a chip shortage. We talked about that with Ford, with GM, with some of these other plays. They got support from the U.S. government. They're building more factories and whatnot. So, hey, look, these companies have just been beasts, man. AMD, if you bought it like, 5 years ago, you would have got it at $5. I mean, it's at $80 right now. You're going to see it's just so hilarious. Brendan, you brought that up yesterday about Ethereum, $1,000, or was it $5,000? Turned into almost 300,000, let alone some of these other coins. We did an example there with poor Dogecoin that was made, I thought, as a joke. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that was a joke coin. But it was 0.002 cents just 6 months ago, and now it's 15 cents. So that was like 700x. I mean, if you're not investing in some of this technology, then really I think that you're just way too conservative. So I love NVIDIA. I love AMD, regardless of where they've came from. It's about where they're going, and I just think it's higher.
All right, guys, we'll move down to GlaxoSmithKline. Not a name we look at very often on the show, but up big time this morning, especially for this stock. There's that Cation Auto as well, little Chinese online used car dealer. The NASDAQ approved their acquisition of a competitor over in China that focuses specifically on electric vehicles and the resale of electric vehicles. So they're going to be moving into that space. But GSK, Financial Times reporting that hedge fund Elliott Management has taken a monster stake, multi-billion-dollar, or pound, I should say, over in the UK position in GSK, guys.
Just moving a stop order there because I'm going to do this one. I scalped off like a couple of bucks. It's just there's icebergs all over the place in Coinbase, by the way. So I saw a little something at 342.50 that got me out of some of my shares. I'm going to hang on to the rest, see if I can enjoy that little bit of a ride. I actually kind of feel like healthcare could sort of come back into vogue a little bit, but Glaxo decides to sell off of this 39 level on that news. I'd like to be defending this one if it gets anywhere close to this 36.80 is going to be your previous, I guess, resistance that it's breaking out from on Glaxo. So if I like the healthcare spot, I'm kind of going to look at this 37 in front of that. So if we do get any kind of a dip, I think it's going to be worth a shot here. not normally the type of play that I would have been doing a rollover trade, but given that like the only like small cap that I felt worth it to look for a rollover short was KXIN, and even that's not doing too much. Maybe I should have gone over into GlaxoSmithKline. It's something I should start thinking about a little bit more when we have these levels like that. It still went up to that 39 and gave you a bit of a fade trade. Volume has done 3.5 million shares, so that's actually very, very good, very, very good right here. And if it does want to dip back down, like I said, it's that 37 area, give it to like 36.8, then I'm going to be all over if you do get a bit of a rollover. It looks like it's trying to do that here at 37.6. So I already have Coinbase and KXIN. Maybe we'll cover that a little bit. But Glaxo, I'd rather buy the dip than maybe look into the short right here at 37.50 after I've already seen it fall a buck and do nothing about it.
I just want to quickly bring everyone's attention. We're going to see if we can get some out here at 78, but we are now long Citigroup. It does come down into that teeth that we were talking about, 74.50 or so. So we wrote down, will it hold 76? We don't know, but I'm going to take a long right now on Citigroup as we like the report. Makes sense to me why we're up today. And there it is. We grab that fill there. We'll just wait to see now what happens on the upside for Citigroup in 76, 74.6, 70. What is my exact price? 74.62 there. We're all the way up to 90s now, 85s. So this is going to be a good one, hopefully, for us. We do want to take out the top. I do have orders to go long still through 75.30, 75.50. So we're going to take some longs here on Citigroup. But hey, man, nothing wrong with celebrating a little bit of a starting point here. 74.62 long on Citigroup. We'll see how high this one can fly here. What time is it? 9:25. Okay, I know Brendan's at the screen now, I believe. Yep. Quickly here. AMC a buy, Space, Virgin a sell, Palantir a buy. There's Citigroup. Okay, Citigroup. Okay, Citigroup. Now I see you. Back to 75, and we get out at 75. So right there, a 40-cent win to start the day, man. Brendan, the Bulls be kicking.
All right, guys, let's go to one of the little ones we mentioned if you joined us early on. Inovio popped up here in the pre-market. They released data from a trial on their COVID-19 vaccine, apparently very effective when it comes to the South African, the UK, and the Brazilian variants of COVID-19. So a couple of things to note. 1050 to 1075 is this area on the daily chart. Above that, there's not much until you get up into 1250 on this thing. The way this came off from the high was pretty weak, just as weak as how strong it was going up. So going to watch this 1025 initially, 1050 above that for INO, guys.
I want to quickly say KXIN, I'm sort of giving, like shorted 284, giving it to like that 290 area at the top for anyone that's watching that name, and it has some support here in the mid-60s. But Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson dumping 150 million shares worth of shares, and that follows Chamath as well. And I'm not kind of like Chamath. I'm going to go to the daily chart and just show you guys. You know, when we talked about the 2750, I'm like, look, I'm going to take some profit and then I'm holding for the long term. And then someone asked me, are you rebuying at 2750? I believe it was Tyrone there, and I said, no, not going to do it. Coinbase, what am I doing? I don't even want to long in that stupid thing. Why did I just get long? There we go. Just going to get out of it. Broke that 45, and I'm like, I didn't want to reverse to the long side, so I just got out of it right away. But Virgin Galactic, right at this 25 level, I'm going to go short through 25. I didn't think it made any sense to dig back into that level when the first time you got that break, it gave you a double up. And the second time through, it gave you 20 to 25% worth of a move. You got to be willing to reverse action. I think you'll be able to get better prices on this name. And today is not my day to buy. I'm going short through 25. I wish it didn't happen right at the open because I've had mixed success with that. I kind of also wish I just held on to the Coinbase accidental long because there you go. I wanted a tight stop on it. Looks like it was a good idea to do so. Right back to 347. I'm glad I took that out for the $2 winner to scalp it and then get out of the rest when it broke.
Good. Yeah, I'm looking at Coinbase as well. I already give you my levels, 360 and then a low bid there. I like Square to take out this 264 level, but it took it out, and then now it's going back to the downside. So we may have to pick some Square up here at the bottom, 263. Only 2 minutes to go. I wouldn't mind. I mean, if Square can get down to this area, it'd be even better, 261-ish. So we'll look to see if that can test. We just took some more out on Citigroup there. Another out at 74.95. So we have half left. left. We'll see how far this one wants to go to the bottom. If it does, we'll try to pick some up lower. Don't know where that's going to be, but try. And then Square, we just talked about that as well. Some other names that we're looking at: BAC. I have the orders in for that. Palantir 2450, and then PaySafe as well. So we're looking at a whole bunch of names here, including Square. My eyes are just going everywhere because we're trying to find the right prices to put in here. 261 or so maybe on Square for pickup on the downside. It looks like it's coming in right now. So watch out for Square here. We only have a minute to go. PaySafe on my mind, Square on my mind. PaySafe looks like it's going to take out that 1425. Hopefully we'll get long off the open on that one. Those are some of my quick ideas. Let's just see if they work out.
Yeah, and I just want to get the QuantScape here with less than a minute to go. If it does pop in anywhere near that, like 37.50 to 38, I mean pop up, I should say, to 37.50 to 38, I'd like to be fading this. I want to initially be selling this until sort of proven otherwise on QuantScape. I don't like the bottom break. I'm taking one as it is on Virgin Galactic, which just bounced off 25. But I'll definitely short any kind of a pop in QuantumScape. I want to take a shot at it. And here comes like 35 even. This is like that. You got to follow your rules on coin or on any stock in general. And if you get a long position that you didn't want, you should take it out. And this is what I talked about, getting that sort of almost break even out on coin. Whatever, it is what it is. It's going to go in the money, but it's not a trade that I look to have. I was looking at a 360 break, and the countdown is on. It is Thursday. I almost got the day wrong here, and Ms. V is on the bell once again. There you go. Let's lower it. Don't break the bell, and don't break out too fast, Citigroup and Coinbase. Let us get in.
Yes, sir. Good bell there. We will wait to see now what comes out and what goes back in. So right now, with Citigroup coming to the downside, we'll watch out to see if they fade this one, they fade this one. That's why we took out the profits there. 74.12 coming through. Let's see if we can get along now downside here on Citigroup, guys.
Yeah, and immediately watching Coinbase test right back down to like 340. Like it just crushed this one to the downside. Like I actually expected maybe it was about to break out. Instead, we're going the other way, guys. So we did break 340 the first time. We're coming back in. I might fade off of 350, and 350 looks like it's going to be a new level. So I'm going to throw a stop for a bit of a breakout 350, and I might use it to also short in front. Watching Citigroup, and I want a Virgin Galactic. It looks like we're not going to get that 25 break. Might have to short that on a pop, the same way I was looking at QuantumScape.
Yeah, same thing here. We're Coinbase now, 338.21. We just took that long. So let's wait to see what Coinbase does now. We are long right now, 338.21. So let's see how high this one wants to fly. A nice win for us there on $1. But the spread right now, very, very spicy. How far does this thing go down? We do not know. But Coinbase right now, I'm long 338.21. Let's see if we get above 340. Bang! Right there. $4 winner right there, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, you can't even get that break. Just to let you guys know, the one break we could get is, Virgin Galactic just broke 25, so that's headed to the southbound. It just tried to pop back up. I'm going to short any kind of strength it tries to show me.
Bang! What a big trade already, man. We gave you that call, and we're not taking pennies. We're taking dollars right now. So boom, $4 winner right now. We got out of half right there, and we still go to the upside. I told you we're not shorting Coinbase. No. We're taking that profit on the longs right now today. 338 right there long. So let's see how high this wants to fly. We're already, look, it could go down. We'll get hit. Maybe the short happens, but I'm pretty happy with that one. Let's see how high it flies now. I think that's a good base there. We'll get out if it takes out the day's low of 335, guys. But other than that, we're going to stay strong and long here on coin.
Yeah, and just look, you're not going to get a pop in QuantScape. It's about to take out the low of the day. I'm going to be watching 36 even. I already have, look, I actually just got Citigroup because it dipped into the pre-market dip price. We'll go to that chart in a quick second. But here's the bottom breaking on QuantScape. I'll take a little bit here if I can. Remember, it's short sell restricted. So you actually need an uptick to get that fill. So had to wait for it to tick up and just got 36.19 when it broke 36.20. So short in Virgin Galactic, short in Coinbase. I'm actually going to take some off in front of the 24.25, and I'm going to add to QuantumScape through 36 if I'm able to do so. Here's the bid right now on QuantumScape. You can't hit it. Because it is short sell restricted, and if it turns around from here, it might come back into those quarters. That's why I wanted to fade into that trade initially, and that's why we got the 19th short. I'll try to add. I'm not sure if we can.
Let's see what Palantir's doing. We already.
No chance.
Yeah, no. That's why I told you. We'll fire it off. We'll do backflips for getting out of QuantumScape, but still, just some talk there on why we liked it and why we didn't. Okay, here we go. Square through 264. That's on our list. We're long at 264.15. Let's take some out right there. Boom, another one. There it is again, man. There's another 80 cents there on that long. Out 265, in 264, out 265. We're just balling right now today. Bunch of wins here. We'll watch Coinbase not doing anything. We're waiting on Citigroup. Coinbase now $3 in the money, and Square busting out now up to 265. And how about that swing play, ladies and gentlemen, with NVIDIA? How about that swing play, Brendan? That's 4% as well for everybody. Let's go. Keep this party going.
Just got some square out here. We're going to go diamond. The Wiz, I think we'll call. We talked about that 3/4 on the 25 break of Virgin Galactic. I'll take some out in the front of the 50s as well. And I'm watching coin come back in here. But Brendan, what's up?
Some of the earnings, guys, coming to the downside. Other names very strong, but BAC straight southbound from the open. Initial print volume was on the positive side, but straight selling so far on Bank of America, guys.
Yeah, we were looking for that. I mean, that's not helping out our Citigroup position at all right now, as we have a $2 now on our boy here, Square. So really super happy with obviously the way this one's making out for us here. Happy, let's go. Yo, what up, V, what up? We're really super happy again, Valeria, what's up? About how this is moving. Square now, look at this, guys. $2 in the money. Let's go. Hot dogs for everybody. Coin comes out and we get flat on coin. We take a $3 winner, then a $3 loser, as we do take that out at 335. Now it's, of course, right back upside there. Let's take a 340 break again on Square, but we're happy, man. This has been a fantastic day. What up, B?
Looks like a bunch of stops just got run on QS, guys, below 36. Huge volume spike there on QS through 36, but coming back up immediately right through to 37, guys.
We got that 36.19 short. I took it out when it broke that 36 because it went right to 35.80, and then it flushed to 35. I mean, that was so fast, it was ridiculous. I sort of shorted right back into the opening range, well, right before they open, where that range was. And if it takes out this sort of 37 to 37.25 area, I'm going to get out of this short. We got it at 64s here. That's when you get a stop break like that and it snaps up, you got to watch out for reversal, but it's got the short sell report on it. I like the 38 area a little bit better, so I don't want to give this too much room past that quarter. And watch it. I just got some more Citigroup and KXIN. That stock is just defecating all over itself. Virgin Galactic still 25 cents in the money, sorry, 30 cents in the money, and falling at this particular moment. Sometimes you got to be willing to reverse field on it, and it was a clear cause for Virgin that it was going to sell off today.
Yeah, so good talk. We're waiting still, guys. We're still waiting for this Citigroup to go. I don't know if it's going to. We'll dump it, obviously, if it goes the other way on us. But for right now, Citigroup just, I'm going to give this a little bit of space down here, 73 and change. You see BAC, we called the long. We like the long on the banks today, but obviously they're getting killed. We talked about yesterday. I wanted to get out of some JP Morgan yesterday, didn't. Maybe will today, as, all the banks right now suffering through. So we got to wait to see where it wants to go from now. Square also pulling back in just a tad. It gets up as high as 267. Was that past resistance? Maybe. Right here. 260. Yeah, right here. That's that level. 267.20. Damn it. I wish we would have saw that. That would have been a good out for us for $4 winner there, 267. But we'll wait to a $3 winner. We'll wait to see where it goes from here, though. Brendan, again, what's up, bud?
A little bit thinly traded here, but volume questionable. 3%, guys, for UNH. This is all-time highs after earnings for United Health.
Ooh, UNH on the move there, guys. I just want to go back, and I'm going to come back to Virgin Galactic because it continues to flush, and we'll do this money pound. 24.50 was the next level to the downside. I still want to short any strength that it actually has, but until it does, we're going to have to walk away from it and then we'll go to something that actually has a bit of concern. Now, remember, sometimes I would have rolled into more shares of this around that 37 level, but the nature of that little, fail break downside, Quamscape is now running up here. And this is that 38 area that we're talking about. And there's just nothing. Of course, my level 2 didn't want to switch. I'll show it to you guys. Of course, it was almost nothing at that 38 level when it just popped in. So I almost want this to slow down. And then if I get another chance to go into the short position, I'm going to be very, very patient with it. Virgin Galactic is giving me absolutely no trouble, which is fine. I did think we'd see the same thing with Quamscape, but we've seen this with short seller reports. They're not doing it when it's at 60. This is at the actual lows. Just wanted to also show you guys KXIN. Just the one entry in the pre-market. Told you guys as I shorted that pop at 284. It just touched 250. That's just right about where the target was going to be. So basically, I just got flat on it, and the only way I'll get back in is if it pops into 270. So that's one of those easier rollover trades that there was nothing to do but grab it and hold on.
Yeah, that was a good one there. So Square does, retake a little bit of that high there. So pretty happy with that. We're starting to average in now to PLTR. So Palantir, not average in, we just took our spot right now at 46. So we're in the money 7 pennies. We could take a little bit out if we want. There we go, we'll take a little bit out here at that 54 level as Palantir just falls with some of these high flyers today. So there goes Palantir to the downside. We're gonna see if it can hold basically just 23. We'll see if it can hold downside. There really is no levels other than that on Palantir. So we're going to wait to see if it does hold that 23. But so far, so good on PLTR. 9 cents, we'll take it. The only thing that's right now that's struggling is really just Citigroup. That was my very first trade. Good thing we did take some off, but we've averaged in. So right now it'll be a loser if we do get out here. But what's up, Brendan?
Just had Tilray pop up here. Not a huge move on the daily chart if you look at the overall scheme of things, but starting to run here on volume again. The Afria shareholders approving the merger deal today, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess no real pop in INO. I was sort of looking for that one, do a little something. I'm in Citigroup as well with you, Sean, but it just held, just bounced and held off of this pre-market level, right down like 73.80, which I think we kind of quickly mentioned to you guys. And then finally, I said I wanted to shorten some strength into Virgin Galactic. Now we took some profit. This is not the same sort of snapback that you saw in QuantumScape. I mean, it didn't. The equivalent of that would have been running some stops at 25 and then like 1 wick down, 1 wick up. And that's not what happened, sort of rounding itself off. So I don't mind jumping into some shares of this one. Maybe that's a sell-off done. We'll see what happens when it gets to like 25 and a quarter. I think that's going to be a much bigger test for Virgin Galactic. I'm going to work myself back into position. I still have some shares on from the original 25. I'm going to work myself back into some shares on the short side, which I'm going to try to stay in here. And then finally, it looks like QuantumScape is doing a bit of a rollover. So this is where I'm going to take that first test. I wanted to see what happened at 38 and then just take an initial position here. If we can hold this range up to 38.50, this is my second shot at QuantumScape. Mixed results in the first. Brendan?
More earnings to work through, guys. American Eagle also reported aftermarket yesterday. This is all-time highs. Not terribly exciting so far today, but all-time high territory anyway. Trying to hold 34 here for AEO.
Guys, we talked about 2 swing plays yesterday. NVIDIA and Square, both up 4%. And the good thing about it is, we have Square. This right now, 264 up to that 267. So this is a $3 winner right now. Debating just taking it out. This is a big win. The NASDAQ ripping upside. You guys can do whatever you want with this trade, but it's a money trade right now, going to the upside. $3, $4 in the money at times here for Square, as it did, almost $4 that it does touch that 268. So if this comes back down through 267, we're going to be gone. But $3 in our pocket for Square right now. Good way to start the day on this one. We just need, there it goes. Citigroup just came out. So that's a loser, but Square easily makes up for that. So let's go Square.
Yeah, and I can't believe it. Like I literally said, well, we don't really trade Dell too much there. But yeah, you should be selling. Just sell it through the bottom because it looks like it's gone far enough. And of course, it actually ends up being a good day trade. Pops up at pre-market right into like 100, and it's giving everything back. It might turn into, the only reason I'm bringing it up, it might turn into a bit of a buying opportunity if we get back into the 94, 95 range. If it's going to show you that previous high, that sort of 94, 95, I think we're going to almost have to take it here. So I'm going to be all over that if I do see it. Didn't think Dell was going to be a name that we would track, but it turns out it made the move, and it is. I just got a bit of that rollover in QS. I'm very close to getting stopped. Whoa, where'd my stop go? There it is. I just got out of Citigroup as well, so the weakness in the banks. There we go. There's that rollover. I got to check where the 10-year is at, but it touched that 1.6, and I was a little concerned about it. It turns out not enough. QuantumScape, again, trying to make another press to the upside here. I haven't added anything to this because this is showing me some strength. I want to see it actually slow down again and roll over before I take any kind of a second look, or now third look at QuantumScape shorts. And I know you guys are watching some coin, so we can't ignore that one here today. It just bounced back above that 340, bounced at a random price of 333. So some of those key levels have not been tested yet to the downside. That's at 320 in particular.
I still think coin blows up here, guys, at 346 or so. I still think it goes. But what is blowing up right now? Well, let's just take some more profit, because here it goes again, guys. It's a backflip time. Palantir, it's the same thing. every day. We just cashing in on Palantir every day. And there it is again today. Now, we talked about starting to buy some at this low level here. We let it fall down. We get some, and now we just enjoy this run to the upside. Unfortunately, though, Square does drop below 267. This would now be a $5 winner, but we are out of Square. Bang, bang, bang. Take the profits. We're not trying to be too greedy here, guys. Big time trade alert, though, on Square. 264. And again, here it is. I mean, what else? This is right here. 264 to the upside. There's Palantir. We talked about holding those levels as well. The only thing we're screwed up there was I don't even have. Oh, there's Citigroup. Will it hold? Yeah, it's down to. Well, actually, we just got more Citigroup right there. We actually bought this bottom as we got out 73.78. Now you're going to see me long down here. Let's make that money back. What up, B?
Another group you mentioned late in the day yesterday on the afternoon show, gold. Guys, up today. We saw 0.8% for gold. This one, Kinross, having quite the day, 2.5%. Look at Barrick Gold as well, up about 3% on the day so far, guys.
And you know what's not going, and we don't really have it. We'll go with the little money spread action. I don't really have a negative one for space travel, so I can't hit the arrows up. I can't hit the to the moon because it's a reverse on Virgin Galactic. Now, ignore that little dark pool print here. It tried to test at 25, and so it's a reverse of what happened in QuantumScape at the bottom. It breaks 25, goes a few pennies, and then boom, snaps right back to the downside. So we're going to hang on to this. Well, QuantumScape is actually showing some strength here. So,
man.
Yeah, like Virgin's going to work to the short side. I really thought this would be a good look for the short on QuantumScape. The initial move was the only one that we were able to get any kind of a winner on, and then you're essentially seeing it blow to the upside. There we go. There's the chart. Load it, load it, load it, load it, load it, load it, blow to the upside. Trust me, it is moving. There we go. But it just tried to turn off 38.50. So that's the next level we said. It turns off that price. This might be the, we'll see what happens. I need an uptick to be, come on, give me an uptick, give me an uptick. Get more shares there. This might be the last ditch effort for me. If I get the fill here, and if I just tried it at like 38.23, maybe I should have crossed down and taken 38. Maybe I'll take a 38 break to the downside. If that's the only way I can get in. Try and fire an order off in here and see if we can catch it. But either way, this could be the last short I take at 38.50. And then from there, and this thing is going to show you like 40 to 41. I'll be very, very surprised, but it is what it is. You saw the flush out at the bottom. That's a failed break if I ever saw one. So I'm not going to go broke on this short, but I am trying it one more time.
Okay, Palantir does come all the way back in. That was a good out, man, at 65. Let's wait to see. We're out 20, 40, 60. We have 40% still. This one's going to be a spicy one. Palantir today, Brendo.
SPAC time, guys. Venus Acquisition Corporation. This is the first one I've seen. There must be news on this. I'll look a little bit harder, but this is the first one I've seen that's a penny stock. So below $1 right now, but big volume coming in, up 180% already for Venus, guys.
So I'm going to do this. To QS, but I wish I remember the name, but I have seen like one SPAC that was a penny stock before, but there's QuantumScape right through that 38.50, so it really looks like the breakdown was the only trade that was worth its salt there. So I'm going to be out of that one. Got to come back over to a name that I don't think we talked about it in the pre-show here, Sean, but certainly one that we have talked about in the past, and that's going to be Roblox.
Yep.
Come on, you got to be kidding me. If you get it wrong the first time and accidentally type in NASDAQ, it's like a beast to get back in. Anyways, Roblox tested the low here, and I wish I had sort of seen this as it happened, but I was paying attention to QuantumScape and space at the time. But higher low that got put in yesterday's action, 74.50. Roblox got sold off. We covered that in yesterday's show. I want to see if it can hold that 74.50 again. So the higher low from yesterday, if we have any kind of a test to the bottom, I'll be all over it. And then check out the pre-market 77 level here. You get a bit of a top at the open as well. You also go into the afternoon top, and it's right at 77. So I'm going to have a break through 77. I'd much prefer to buy the dip. If that ship is sailed, fair enough. But I think we might get a little bit of a chance to retest that 74.50. And it held 74 if you look at the absolute low in yesterday's action right around 2 o'clock.
Yeah, good look there for sure. Okay, we're just going to have a quick look, though, as we go at Coinbase. Palantir does bounce a little bit off of those bottoms there at 25. Should have got more. Wasn't really paying too much attention. But here comes Citigroup, man. We spin it again. This trade is in the money. We did take a dump here. This needs to get back up to like 74.50 if we're going to make any real money on this one. But we will celebrate that little dip buy there in 73.35. Out 73.90. It's just that part is a decent trade. We have lost, obviously, as we try to be as honest as we can here on Citigroup. We buy the dip and then get out there. So that's like a 80-cent loss or so there for Citi, or maybe less for Citigroup. We make it back, but on less shares. So it's a loser right there. But what's up, B or V?
Hey Sean, traders in the chat talk about AMC stock is up around 6%. Do you guys see any opportunities for yourself in this name?
Oh, 10 break.
AMC, sure. Yeah, I mean, we always see opportunities. Thanks for that question there, V. Oh, back over 10. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention again. We miss these ones if we don't cover them in the pre-market. AMC up 8%. Good little level. We talked about this day in and day out. I thought 8-9 was a decent level. I talked about fair value being between 8 and 9. Yesterday, you had an opportunity to pick it up right in the middle of that, 850. So a good move to the upside here for AMC today. If you're looking at a longer term time frame or even just a little bit of a scalp through 1050, I can't blame you. 1050 to 11 probably happens today. What's up, Brad?
One from yesterday, guys. C3AI popped up again yesterday. Remember the Financial Times added it to its must-own list. It just came down and tested basically where we ended the day yesterday and just skyrocketed from that, from 69. $3 move there, 4% for AI again today.
Oh, of course it is. And we were watching a little bit of that AI, and I had some levels written down for it. I kind of like the look in Roblox a little bit better, but looking at Coinbase here, it tried to get down to that 330. Remember, 320 is that key area of defense. That's going to be the key one. So I can still look at some breakdown shorts and maybe start thinking about some of these like 340s to the upside before we get to that 320, where I think it's like an all-out sort of defense kind of thing that's going to get put. So 330 break. If it pops back into 340, I might try a scalp short. It just feels like that's going to be a reasonable play to make on Coinbase here at that 340 mark. I just want to be in and out if I can as fast as possible on some of those breakouts, because after what happened in the pre-market, you don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth. And I'm doing it right here on Virgin Galactic, but like keep in mind, I did get the reload. We've already taken profit out throughout this range, and I sort of said this, and I'm pretty sure it was Tywin was asking about getting back in 2750. I'm like, you're gonna get like low 20s at some point in this particular name. Zero revenue companies. What you should be doing in this environment is maybe waiting around for them to give you better prices so you can hold for the long term. And the long term is the really long term for these guys. I'm watching to see if we can break this 24. There's room to at least 2280, 23 even. So I will cover in front of 24. Maybe look to play a short on a bit of a bounce. Maybe look to pay a breakdown as well at 24 even. So Virgin Galactic, I'm still on the short side and I'm staying there.
I apologize. I realized we didn't really cover AMC that well there, so I'm going to do it again right now. Okay, so here's AMC. I'm short. I like to play off that little bump there, so we'll see if it can retest the high. We'll get out at 1025 or 1030 or so. We'll give it a little bit of room if it does. But here we go. Like, we're right back into this level here where we've resisted before. $10, $10.50. I mean, we're going all the way back now to April 5th, which isn't that far, but we had it hasn't been up here and held any kind of strength. So for me, if we get an opportunity to short in this area, that's what I'm going to do. So I did take an initial position right now on AMC. You can see it hopefully in the blotter there, or on the bottom there. Short 10.03. I'm actually at 10.03. Great. 4 cents in the money. That's what I was going to say. That was 10.04. But now we're 5 cents in the money. Retracement back to VWAP definitely will take some out. 91, 92 there. But AMC looks like it's going to be a good one for me here on the short side. So thanks for bringing that up. And I apologize that we didn't really cover it. I didn't really cover it too much in depth there. But I'm short this. I like what we saw there when we brought it back to a longer time frame at some of the resistance levels around that 1050. So if we can get some shorts here, we'll see if it wants to fade it back in. But 991, 992 is where I'm going to get out. Maybe even the majority of this, but definitely half of it on the downside there. Maybe even 995, guys.
Yeah, and finally get a bit of a pop here in INO. You're going to see on a bit of volume. It finally breaks out. It got past this like 1020, so a few stops probably got broken in this candle and break through 10 to 1020. There was a nice little consolidation a couple of times here on the way up, pull back 1040, on the way down, slight bounce at 1040. So I kind of use those levels as entry points for me when I'm selling in front of some strength here in Inovio. And Brendan got you guys that story, I think, in nice and prompt as it came out while we're doing the show. Couldn't get it on the watch list, but that's going to happen to us from time to time. So I just added to it on the way down. 25 average price here. I'll give it like that 15 to 25 cents and see if we can't get, I'll definitely take some out in front of 10 because that's right there. If I'm risking 15 to 25, I got to take profit in front of 25 in front of VWAP as well. And I do want to see what happens. If it can break through 10 even, I think it's a bit of a hold down into the 975 to 980 range. So into an OVO for the first time. And still going to hold that Virgin Galactic. Of course, QS is going to roll over without me. these things happen. You can't hold. I don't hold it forever. I don't average in forever. Maybe that's the right call in Quantumscape. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, well, we can only hold till 4 o'clock, guys. So, bye forever. Oh, here we go. Spin it. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you for everybody on the chat right now. Yes, sir. There it is, man. AMC for the win right now. Nice trade here on board. Happy with it. Thank you guys for bringing this to my attention. We'll just put that money in our pocket right now. Out some 95s, out some 92s. Now we're down to 90. We're breaking VWAP to the downside. So now you can look at 85s, something like that. But I mean, 85s are coming here. So maybe let's get a bid out there, maybe 88, something like that. We'll put a NASDAQ bid at 85 or so. See if we get a little bit of get some rebates there for that trade. Okay, Palantir. I mean, we just took a spot right now. I want to take more down here. So we got to let Palantir come into us, guys. So we're going to wait to see if that does happen. Palantir coming into 23. That'll be our breaking spot. But our average price right now is 40 on PLTR. Not great, but I'm okay with it. What's up, B?
All right, the other side of the Dell story just popping up here, guys. VMW in New York up 1.5%, coming up to 158 here. Just popped up on volume. It was really not doing much in the pre-market and even at the open there, but starting to show some life here for VMW.
Look at NVIDIA here. We'll fire off the hot dogs. I mean, you guys wanted a swing trade yesterday. It's just so silly of me because I actually wanted this 6:30 break like we talked about it on the pre-show, but I don't have it, so it doesn't matter. But there's NVIDIA yesterday. If you took the advice on the swing, guys, you're long at, I mean, people are asking me, so let's just say you got the worst price, like long at 613, 614 right now. So that's $20 plus $25 or so if we could hold overnight. We can't, but that was the idea we had. And then we also had Square as a swing play as well to the long side. And again, if you were in that name yesterday around the close, 258 up to 266, we hammered Square. I mean, this is the best trade today for me because, so easy. We talked about that 64, how much we liked it. It faded off. We had lower bids, but then this hit and bang right to the upside. So Square's been pretty good for us. And we did get some outs on AMC, but not enough. So let's get another piece out right now at 95. This will get just bouncing around.
Yeah, Coinbase close, but no cigar to that like 340 level. It rejects off at one time. Looks like we're about to make another test here. You kind of like to see it tested 1, 2, maybe even 3 times at a level like that before you want to sort of conditioned to go into the long off that 340. But I like the even breaks. I think they can be had. The only problem was the last breakout, and this happened at 315 to 4. Every single time you took an even break, you had to cross a little bit deeper than I was anticipating. So I got to remember that for the next time. I did miss one already this morning because of that. Just to go back to INO, I saw someone saying in the chat there, why short a company that's going to solve the pandemic? I'm day trading. To be perfectly honest, it's not reflective of my opinion of the company. I'm short Virgin Galactic right now, and I hold Virgin Galactic shares, and I want to go to space myself one day, which everyone seems to think I'm crazy for, including my wife, but it is what it is. It'll probably never happen, but look, it's just, I see a technical setup, and we're looking for a bit of a rollover scalp trade, so I just got some out in front of VWAP. I'll take another leg out in front of 10 even, and then, like I said, try to hold it down to this 985, 980 to 985 range. So this one's working out for me here. Roblox, I can tell you, did not because I never actually got that long. It never really dipped down far enough. Looks like it has a shot of testing that 77 top, though. Brendan?
Speaking of vaccine makers, Moderna just popped up here, heading towards day highs, coming up to these pre-market levels once again. Don't see any related headlines. Remember, this popped up a couple of days ago when that Johnson & Johnson headline came out, but Moderna off to the races again.
Wow, Moderna. Yeah, okay. So I'm just looking here. I got to cancel like all of these Citigroup. Citigroup just fell through again. So that's going to be a losing stock for me. The biggest, the only loser actually today. So we're happy with that. But I'm looking at Palantir. I'm looking at space as well. I like that space call. AMC coming right now back up. We tried to get more out, 94, 95, missed it. So we're only out 30% here. So. Okay, we're going to try to get more short. So that's basically it. I just want to bring that to your attention that we are looking to get more short here. Even a little bit higher than this would be nice. Into this 10 area, 8, 9, 10, something like that. We'll take a little more on AMC. I don't know if it gets up there, but if it breaks through 5, then we probably get somewhere near 7 or 8. So here comes 5. So we're going to take a little bit of a short there on AMC. On AMC. Sorry, talking too many names today. Square check back, still 267. NVIDIA still taking out day's high. AMD, well, now the NASDAQ's coming back in. Let's see if we can find AMD. Yes, sir, another 2.79% there. A good little look, but it looks like we are fading back in. Let's check Facebook quickly here for you. 306, we like Facebook. I've liked Facebook for a while, but again, you know, today a nice little move upside, only that 1.24%. Don't really see anything here. Like, I wish there was a little bit more. I'm gonna have to open my charts up to 2 or 3 minutes or 3-minute chart, because right now I'm not finding too much on a 1-minute time frame. I do like, you know, we do have this level here, 2460, 2480 on Virgin Galactic, but right now down that 8%. It's a nasty ride to the downside here on Virgin. And then QS, I got out. I told you I got out at 37. So now you're right back up. Like, now all of a sudden my 4180 isn't so bad anymore, considering what we've seen, some of the, you know, the destruction on other names like, you know, we talked about Nikola, some of the high flyers, Space, Nikola, things like that. When they get hit, they get hit. I'm actually really surprised that QS is holding up here. Yeah, and I'm going to come back to C3AI. Shouldn't have ignored it when I saw this little top end. And we talked about like the break, and it's 73, 75, guys, but and that's yesterday's top. But you can look at 73 even as well if you want. And we just rolled over shy of that. Looking like for now, it's trying to hold the bottom on C3. Just whoops. Yeah, let's go to the 1-minute chart, guys. Looking like it's trying to hold. It bounced. It's now giving you this look off of like 70 even. So it's still in play to break through the top. Coinbase is continuously testing that 340 level. I don't know why I don't just jump into a short in front of it, but it won't give you like 339 or 339.50. It's giving you like 338s, which I don't want to be doing. Tight stops I'd rather have on the short trade. I'm going to go long on the break as C3I, pure momentum style play here. But if it does make another test at 69, it might be worth a bit of a pickup that way. INO gave me the one out. I keep doing that. I keep putting in New York when it's NASDAQ. Gave me the one out in front of VWAP. It continues to rally a little bit here. When I see this and it bounces shy, and then where I get out, it can't go any further than that little 10-10. Yeah, that's all kinds of reason to tighten the stop up. So I'm going to go bring it down a little bit. I'm not going to give it past that like 30 to 35 range here instead of looking at that like 40 that we had before. Just a little bit too strong on that little round off. Usually I like to see it immediately test through a level like this, immediately test through VWAP, and when it doesn't do that, I don't mind running to the exits. And the reason for that is we're not at the high of the day yet. It's a trade I'm usually going to look to make again when it gets to that high of the day. So let's just take it off. Well, I'll just take it off, not let's. You guys can do whatever you want to do. I'll just take the short off, take the small hit on the rest of the shares. If it does test higher, I am going to look back to that pre-market top of 1080 and then see if I can get a quick look in there. And here comes Coinbase one more. I mean, how many times is Coinbase going to just go and not go through that 340? I don't know, I'm with this little wick here, guys, but cannot seem to break through. I don't know why I'm not taking a chance shorting this one. I might have to jump into something with, again, if it gives me a tight stop, I can reverse into the long so long as I can get the fill. Okay, yeah, exactly. We'll watch out here, man. Okay, we're just going to take more profit. We did go short. I like that. Not today. Talked about chair. Said to go short, go buy more AMC. Well, I want to sit on the chair because right now we are going short AMC and we're just cashing out. We did take another 8 spot there, so you can see my average price now 5 on board. So we averaged it. There it is. Boom! A nice move there, Brendo, to the downside on AMC. Tick, 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 boom. We go short. Now let's wait to see how much short and how we can cash in more on this name. Palantir, though, we're loaded. We're not too loaded up because we think it's going to be falling down, but there we go. Our average price now 16 on PLTR. Let's see if it holds 23. Brendan at the big screen. What's up, bud?
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets. Nicely positive with a lot of these names we're talking about leading the way so far. The S&P 0.6% so far. The Dow even back to the upside 0.7%. NASDAQ leading. Nice to see after yesterday's relative weakness. 1 full percent for both the composite and the 100. The Russell back in positive territory, 0.3. Even here in Toronto, we're up 0.5% on the TSX. A couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market. Dell, they faded it. This 101 top from aftermarket yesterday never got revisited at the open here. We went all the way down to 95 on the initial push to the downside there for Dell, but still up 5% on the VMW. Spin-off news, GlaxoSmithKline, the other one, GSK. They did bring it into this 37.5 area, and it held nicely, actually. Trying to hold 38 now, heading back towards day highs for GSK. Guys.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a bid here and just see if I can't pick up some Roblox off VWAP, because obviously we're not going to get, well, I shouldn't say obviously we're not going to get that dip. You could always make another test of 75, but I'd rather just get into the long position where I can here, guys. So I'm going to pick it up in front of like 76. I just got to fill here, 76, 20, 21. You'll see it pop in. I want to be able to make a move into that high of the day potential break. I mean, pre-market top, opening range top, a bit of a failed break through 77. I feel like the third time could be a charm. I mean, just to show you guys, let's go to the 15-minute chart, better than the daily chart there. Just to show you guys, I mean, the monster run breakout, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, Roblox finally got going. It broke that 79 high and then gave it all back on Coinbase Day as money came out. So if you can make that afternoon breakout through like 77, 77.25 here, I'd like to see if I can't fade into it, just meaning get in position before the level breaks, and then you can always either take profit off and get back in, take some off, get back in at 77. Either way, if it takes off the top, I am adding to or getting into a new long position one way or the other.
And yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a roller coaster ride here for Palantir because I told you we were loaded down here at 11, and you can see my average price 12. So, we didn't take too much here, and now we load up, and now we get out here for a nice little 10-cent win to the upside. Let's see if we can hold this for even more right now. As we're going to go perfect today, the only thing, it's not perfect. I mean, the only thing we stepped on was Citigroup, and that was relatively light. Would have liked it to be even lighter. Good outs here. We're almost flat. I have about 10% left on AMC. Wanted to wait to see if we could test the bottoms. We will get short again on AMC here if it does pop up. But right now I have a bid at 81 right here to see what happens, and then we'll see what happens at the bottom. But we'll only have 5% left by the time it gets here. But whatever, we got to take that profit. And you want to talk about taking some profit? Let's get some more out here on. There it is. Boom! Spin it. Let's go. Like, why am I even dealing with QS? I just put all my money into Palantir, I think I should do. But yeah, Palantir hasn't been great for the investment in the last couple months. But I like Palantir to the upside, and I love it for a day trade. My number one stock, Palantir, continues to go, guys. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Love this play. Up 17 cents right now. Up 20 cents on AMC right now as well. So no losing trades today. I like it. I like it a lot. Coinbase down to 330. This was, slippery slope, man. I'm going to tell you something here. I can say no losing stocks. My net on Coinbase is hilarious. It's 42 cents. I'm up 42 US cents net-wise. So I can't buy anything with that, but I just feel lucky because we take a $3 winner and then a $3 hit, and it just panned out that we're still positive on it. I like Coinbase long, but it needs to break. Like, I know Neil's looking short. The short's been great. It's been great off VWAP. I just thought Coinbase as an investment, I think everybody loves it. But who cares about Coinbase when you have Palantir? Let's get a little more out here. 33, 34, 35. What a great trade that was off that bottom. We continue to cash out, man. We're at our highest spot we're at all day, and we're at it right now. Hope you've enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I'm going to power up here. Roblox, we'll get a little more aggressive and talk about that 19. So I'll go take the 50-cent scalp because, look, I'm going to go long through the high of the day on Roblox, so I might as well take profit on the way upside there. And I have concluded the trade well, I shouldn't say that because I do sort of intend to get back in. Believe me, I intend to get back into Virgin Galactic on the short side. Whether that's going to be a 24 break, whether that's going to be another pop and maybe test a VWAP, we're staying short until proven otherwise. QuantScape didn't work out, and it did roll over. I just didn't catch it. It gave you 39 to 38, so a bit of a miss there. No miss on Virgin Galactic, and I feel like we're going to hit it again sometime soon for sure as we try to work back into it. I do want to go back to a couple of other names that I don't know if we talked about NIO today. Apologies if we have. Apologies for not, I should say, down 5%, and now testing 35 even. Just want to come to the daily here and sort of show you. Past this level, and a couple of times it's dipped. I don't know why the daily's not loading for that. You don't really need it anymore, though. If it breaks this 35 area, it has snapped lower and then given you like $1 one time and then a couple, like 50 cents, a couple of other times as well, sort of testing through. And that's why I wouldn't use 35 as support. I think you let it break 35. You start to think about that 34.50 as an area that you might be able to pick some shares up in NIO. So it's getting to that point where it's fallen almost far enough. We've seen when it picks up. If you have the short, great. I was looking at other shorts today, but at this point, when it's already fallen a couple bucks, I start to look for it to round off. It's getting very, very close. I'd rather it break 35 though. Yeah, exactly. So we're just cashing out some of our Palantir. I'm looking for more opportunities. I think that NIO, man. I mean, that's been a disaster the last couple weeks. But so no idea what that's doing. Space, I still like. Look, the short's been cash, man. I mean, I don't know, but 24.60 right now, that's going to be my breaking spot. I'd like to see it go back upside, but we're approaching down that nasty 10% right now. You saw me dump my QS at 37, and I kind of think of these stocks very similar, that they're just high-flying nut stocks. So these things can like rip and, tank
10% daily. So you're seeing that today off this report. I like a 39 break, but I'm almost thinking I know I got to pay for the shorts on this one. 37.50 maybe breaking through VWAP, looking pretty good for QS. I'm off of it today, but right now Palantir has come back in. We just took some more out there at 23. We're almost flat. We have, I would say, about 20% left of this Palantir trade. Got a lot of it out at about 25. That's pretty typical for me. And then when we ripped upside 35, 36, we took that 20 pennies on QS. AMC still, man, looking for that bottom of 81. Big trade on AMC. Only got 2 positions on, and they're both bangers. Brendo.
Keeping my eye on these IPOs for today, APP and TSP, which is Too Simple. Interesting little headline just popped up here for Too Simple, guys. They're planning on demoing these self-driving trucks by Q4 of this year, but still they're talking about 2024 for actual production. So interesting headline on IPO day, guys.
Well, that I do find that interesting. Just coming to Viacom here for a second, because it broke that 40, and when it broke on that flush out day, which I don't know if we gave a name to it, but we probably should have come up with something interesting. We'll call it toilet bowl day. But at 39.80 is where it broke down to, and then snapped back up. We're retesting that same 40 level, and if I can show you on the maybe on the 15, just how weak it's been into this range. But essentially, now holding this bottom one more time, it kind of feels like at some point the story is going to be over. It's anyone's guess as to when you might see a bit of a recovery in Viacom here, ViaC. But when it flushes through one time, 40, snaps back up. A second time, 40, snaps back up. I'm gonna take a shot at it. If it's gonna give me like a 40 long type of idea through the low of the day, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. So I just picked some shares up at 02s, and thank you very much, Greg, for pointing out this name. So many things are moving today. I just had a quick look over at INO, which of course rolled over without me, and then I was looking at NEO, which bounced off 35. So I want to take a shot at this one. Viacom was right here, right now, whereas NEO, I wanted to break 35 before I got into it.
Greg is literally the man. Thank you for that, Gregory. Good little update there. We will see, guys. AMC looks like it's still bouncing around, not doing a whole hell of a lot. We are seeing some crypto come off right now, just a little bit. Anyway, so we could talk about Bitcoin. We could talk about Mara, Riot. Neil looks at SOS and SI a little bit as well. But I look at GBTC, the grayscale unit, to trade that as well. So 62.75. Again, some problems at 6,300. 6,300. Yeah, I wish for I could buy more. I don't wish. I hold Bitcoin. What am I talking about? 63,000 there, downside, but now you're going more. We'll see, man. The day after Coinbase, I don't think we hit any peak, but you do have those like aha moments, right? Where it's kind of like, okay, now maybe we've seen the top. I mean, we haven't, but it's that kind of thing. Like we noticed before, and Greg brought this to my attention actually last time as well, that Bitcoin's high before was kind of before they announced the futures trading in Bitcoin, and then they announced that, and then Bitcoin did fall back a little bit. This is sub 20,000. This is a while ago, but Bitcoin's already doubled this year, guys, more than doubled. So, don't be too greedy if you have any of those investments. But talking about getting a little bit too greedy, let's take some more off here on Palantir. Man, this is a 25-cent win again. If we get 35s, are we going to get 35s? Yes, we are right there. So, woohoo! There it is, a nice little 35 out. Wow, it tanks down. Like we get that 35, it takes out everybody at 35, and then just goes right back down to 30. So I think I found my spot where we need to get out, guys. 35 on Palantir.
And if you heard me say the old, oh, come on, it's the same story in coin. You know what? It's almost like it's distracting me. We tried that 330 break. It goes like $1.50. So you got to get almost like stupid aggressive when you're looking at some of those shorts. 320 is coming and coming quickly. So there was a breakdown. I mean, I can want it all I want, but it doesn't matter. If you can't get the fill, you can't get the fill. Either way, hopefully, if you're alongside, you had some stops at that 330. There's only 2 days of trade to work, a day and a change to work with, and 320. Reason we say that was the afternoon sort of a higher low that it held. So in the afternoon show, that 315, our power hour, we're noting that 320 looking awfully strong, and that's the only reason I bring it up here.
Yep. Okay. Good call. Someone just said here, guys, look at AMD. And I mean, come on, let's go backflip again. Like we called this from yesterday. I said the Coinbase weakness would find opportunities in other names. So NVIDIA all-time high. AMD was another call that we made yesterday. We also called Square yesterday for you, all busting out to not new highs for Square, but busting out to the upside today with multiple points. So we're just going to get that going, and I want to tweet that out because someone did ask about some replay days. And I just think that, if you're going to swing trade, there's going to be lots of opportunities for you. You just got to find the right ones. And if you locating them on Square, on AMD, just pick the strong names like NVIDIA, new all-time highs for NVIDIA today. 639. I still remember hitting the buy, and it's one of my old friends here, no longer with us here, but still with us. He was making fun of me when I pushed the buy of this one at $100, guys. You can see where this one is right now, 638, and that wasn't even that long ago. I'll find you a daily chart of the last time NVIDIA was down to $100, but it was breaking through 100, right? I made the same play on Disney. Every time something breaks through 100, we make it, man. Twilio. I mean, I'm Twilio from IPO, which is 20 or 30 or $40. I don't even remember what it is anymore. But Twilio breaking through 100, I was nervous about as well. $400. So I like that $100 spot, guys. It's been great, and there's just a couple examples of why. And NVIDIA, next stop, like 800 for NVIDIA, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to try again at 325. Fool me once, shame on me, whatever. Every single one of these breakouts or breakdowns is working on coin, so I'm going to take a quick shot at it, 225. I either get the fill or I don't. That's the reality. Quantscape is still on the radar here, guys. I tried the first short work. That was the breakdown short. Both the rollovers did not work. It's now looking like it wants to look. It's broken. It has broken 39, but I mean just barely so. And if that break happens, I said if it gets up into the 40s, I would take a crack at it. And this all started at 41. If it gets up to $40, I'm going to try it. I did reload in Roblox. Said we do so. That just got back down below VWAP here. So we didn't think maybe that we would get any prices quite that good. But then it does dip in and give me a bit of an entry off 75.50. I still like this one to constantly take it out in front of the high and then look for a 77 even break. That's still going to be the play for me. And then I got to bring you back to INO because we show you guys when it's good, when it's bad. That's me. That's top wick. We got the rollover short, made a little bit on it. Then when we got stopped out, it's rolled all the way to the bottom, guys. So again, day trading, someone asked about, but they're saving us from COVID. Yeah, that's great, but there was a short setup on it. You can see it would have worked out had I held on to it, but I had to stop. I used it. Brendo?
We use these tablets for our comms. Mine just had a complete meltdown, so maybe somebody can suggest a good tablet because this one is not. XPEV, guys. XPeng, they announced earlier in the week that their first autonomous vehicle is going to be available for sale coming up in Q4. So XPEV, since then, has been doing nothing but getting sold. 33 had to hold this morning. It did not. We're down to 31. Huge volume on XPEV, guys.
Yeah, great comment there. Thank you, Valeria, for letting us know that there's more and more love for crypto. And I've been talking about crypto on this show for years. I'm bringing you guys new names. I gave you guys ADA at 20 cents. I gave you XRP when I bought it at 30 cents. So it's all there. I've been buying Bitcoin forever, and I hope that we have enough talk about it. And we're just trading everything here. So there's lots to do and there's lots to talk about. We're not a crypto only show, but we will like to talk about. I said definitely like to talk about crypto. So if you had any questions, you could message me on Twitter, Valeria. Drop my link there as well if you need any opinions on anything. But hey, we're trying to address every market here, and it's crazy to do that because there's so much happening. And I think the returns in crypto are infinitely better than they are in the market. You just got to pick the right names, and that's been an obvious statement. I mean, you just look at it. Okay, AMC, and one other thing that's obvious right now on AMC is that we have falling money right now. It's coming out of the sky. We just got to make sure that we catch it, and we're doing that because right now, short, we reloaded that short right there. So now you're seeing that we're short at 10.07, 35 cents in the money. And I actually was mentioning that I was thinking this was coming back to the downside here and we could retest these lows. So here comes 970 right in our face. We're short here, big time trading. I only have 5% left, so it's not like a money making opportunity for me right now. But hey, no matter what you have on board, if you push the bid and it's lower, than where you're short, you win. So that's a good trade for me right now on AMC. We're super happy with the way this one's playing out. The only thing that I've lost on today, and it's minor compared to what's been happening, is this Citigroup. And the reason why we were able to take a little bit of profit there before getting dumped on right there. So Citigroup's been a tough one, but a good one. And then Palantir as well, been a great one, actually, considering what's been happening for Palantir. We are bullish on it, but it's coming back in right now, guys.
That bear wasn't for Palantir. That was for that little note on how to make money short selling. I think it makes a lot of sense, and it'd be great for a video. And I think you'll understand what I mean there, Sean. Coinbase, I finally actually got one of these little breakdowns. And of course, I always do you get at least half, maybe 2/3 of it out for the scalp trade. So I get the 325. I got 324.75. So I actually got a good fill. I was sitting in front of 320, and we talked about that 320 level before. So that's going to be support. There's no way I'm letting this thing break back above 325 here, guys, because that's going to be like a jam sort of spot for a lot of people to that little upside. So for me, I'm getting out. I'm actually thinking about reversing long here on this play, guys. So it is what it is. I should have been maybe more aggressive in getting out in front of 320. We knew it was going to be a bit of a big level, so I'll take the win and not want to turn that trade into an overall loser. I thought I'd get like 321s. I did not get that little winner. If it breaks 25, this is a reverse long for me because 320, and then if I can zoom back for you guys, 320 was that level in the afternoon yesterday that was able to hold. It was the higher low that got put in. It was 310 after that as well. But if it flushes, great. I'm in the short side. I'm not giving it much past break even. Basically, slippage I'm willing to lose.
Brendan, there's a headline on Coinbase. Did you want to look at that right now? It's there's network issues right now with ETH and ERC20 coins.
Just like that,
so that's obviously why Coinbase, is starting to head to the downside right now. I'm not going to pick up any longs. Coinbase is down right now. So I don't know, Brendan, if you can. I know you have that story there, but look for a little bit more details, and we'll get back. That's just dropping right now on Coinbase. So watch out here. We'll see what that does. I just tweeted the news out for you guys. But due to recent network upgrade, they've temporarily disabled ETH and ERC. So it seems like it's a planned move, but the market won't like that, and you're seeing it come to the downside. But that is what's happening right now. It's temporary, and it's planned. So maybe I jumped the gun there a little bit on that story, but we will find out if there's anything more being tweeted or being talked about here on Coinbase. Brendo will have that for you. AMC now just hells to the still going to the downside, man. Feeling like Superman off this call because we reloaded it. That's how much we believed in it. So good little position for us there. We're getting that near another Palantir. What? We're getting near another Palantir reload right now. Oh no, it just bounced back up. So I'm going to put another bid downside here and see if we can hold 23 one more time.
Yeah, and of course, look, obviously I'm going to give the fifth pound to that because I saw it literally like the second you said Coinbase, I'm like, looked over, I'm like, wait a minute, I saw the same thing. I canceled that stop order that was going to reverse me to the long side. And then look, I'm not changing the plan. I just got out in front of 320, right? Like I'm not changing that at all. For me, all it did is I didn't want to reverse into the long position at 325. It is now bounced twice, Coinbase that is off 320. So that level has been pretty good to go. The 330 was a good one. Obviously, it's just a matter of being able to get the fill. I couldn't get a short fill until literally the last breakdown. So it is what it is. You can take from that all you want. Sometimes the liquidity was good on the breaks. It wasn't here today. We're going to go, actually, I'm glad you're talking about this one. Let's go to small cap recap with Brendan because I've gotten away from this name.
Hey guys, small cap time. Another kind of quiet day in small cap world, but two to show you here. Cation Auto, that KXIN, we were talking about it in the pre-market. The NASDAQ gave them approval to acquire one of their competitors that is solely focused on the EV space, selling used vehicles. So we were up on that. There was 3 and then 290. If this got up to that 293 area at the open, would have had a lot more, but it did not. Just straight southbound for this one. We're at basically day lows here for KXIN. Pretty stress-free trade on the short side. INO, I actually tried this on the long side initially, got out of that at $10. This was so strong when this news came out. But it just faded equally as strong, but to the downside, just sliced right through 10. We did come back to 10, gave you an opportunity to grab the short. I actually was using 1050 for an out at that, so working in to a short versus this 1050 up here. We're all the way down to 960 for INO. Guys, back over to you.
Yes, sir, INO. I mean, look, it is what it is. Like, I had a decent trade on INO if you look at the initial entry point, but it's not going to work out for me ultimately with that rollover. Roblox here, nice little bounce. I actually didn't think we'd maybe get a chance at retesting. I'm putting in a higher low, but the second we did, I'm going to take it. And I just got the fill there to scalp some off. So, I'm still going to go with the same plan here. Like someone just said, I called an audible on Coinbase. There's no audible to be called here on Roblox. I'm still going to take this trade off in front of 77 and then get back in on a top end break in Roblox. It's just the way I prefer to play it here. And Sean's going to come with the news. And look, you never want to be trading blind. You always want to make sure you make some kind of a reaction. Look, you're put to a decision at that particular point. I'm in the short trade. I have a support level that we're pretty confident in. I would say like very confident in that 320. So I knew I wanted to take profit in front of 320. When you get a failed break at that last bottom, 325 is an obvious one, in front of that level at 320, you got to think to yourself, if it retakes it, that could be a long. Now, I told you guys I wanted that reversal. The second the news came in, I'm like, wait a minute, let's take a step back, rethink reversing into the long position there. Would it have worked? Yeah, you're going to get that bit of a break. You're going to get that bit of like a $1, $2 scalp trade win. And then maybe it does go all the way back to 330. I had to make a judgment call right there. And it was, I don't need to take a position on that news. I could cover and be perfectly fine. I could take the winner on the short. I don't reverse into the long. If it ends up being wrong, it's not to say that I don't care about it, but you have to be able to live with that decision. You have seconds to make it, and you got to trust your instinct and your gut when you go with it. Here's the other thing too. If Sean didn't say that story, I have no idea, and I just go with the plan and make money. Does that make it the right thing? I don't think so. I'd rather have the news, make a call, and be wrong than sit there and have traded blindly and been rewarded for my ignorance. So that's why we like it around here. We're going to give you guys the actual actionable news every time it comes through, and then you have to make those calls off of it. I shouldn't have waited for NEO to break 35 and hope for like the best price off of a flush. Maybe I should have taken it in front of 35. If it does hold 35 even, at some point I'm going to have to get into this long a little bit in front of the area that I liked. Looks like, once again, too patient on this particular name. It's been a good day so far with the exception of Citigroup. And, Qualmscape has been my bugaboo today. I don't know if I'm going to walk away from it. I think there's still a shot at it if it gets to 40. But going to hold on to Roblox until 77 and look to get into some NEO in front of 35.
What was that? Coinbase was not true, or what is that story? What are you guys talking about?
No, it's more that the long 325 ended up being good. Like I canceled the order on the news to not go long, and then it ends up working out. So it is what it is.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Look, I mean, like I said when we dropped that news, it apparently was temporary and almost like it was planned. So. I don't know what that will do to the stock. Okay, so now we're back into Palantir, and again, remember it's second day on Coinbase. Like it's very, very hard for Neil, myself, Brendan, even for you guys to really pick levels. We can just work off one day. So you see what happened yesterday, and just try to play off of it. Neil's doing a good job on that one. I'm up literally 42 cents on it, so I need to do a little more work on my Coinbase trading coming up as well. Okay, here goes Palantir. Let's see now. We reloaded it. You can see my average price is 16. So. That's that last fill at 14. So we're here and we're waiting. So now we can see if we get back into the 30s. That'll be a good little spot to get some out. I mean, I'm always getting these out around 25, which would be about 10 cents. So we'll wait to see if that can come through there. What, I have an 18 offer? No, we don't want that. We'll cancel that. We'll wait for some 25s. But Palantir looks like it wants to bounce off the bottom here. I hope so anyways. Palantir looking like it goes up. We'll play that. We'll play that well, hopefully. AMC does drop and then stop, so I think this is a good spot to get out of our AMC right now. 970. We're playing off that bottom here on the day, just like we were playing off the top, so I think this makes a lot of sense. Let's get out of our AMC now, clean that up, and then just watch. Here we go. Here goes Palantir, guys, right to that 26 level again, so good level to get some out. Let's get the double out right there at 25, 26. So there's two outs off this long. We're long 16, and then just the money continues to come through on Palantir. Just got to, be vigilant and take out that profit, guys. Here it comes.
And that's the thing. No one ever went broke taking profit, and that's why, look, if Roblox breaks through 77, I don't mind. Of course, yeah, there you go. I don't mind sort of sitting here and having my, the 75, 60s and 76 longs. I don't mind those being taken off, and then if I miss the 77 breakout, it is what it is. Taking profit is a good way to go about it. I think we're going to get some liquidity when it breaks 77.10. We'll get that long as well, but until it happens, I'm going to work the trades in front of me. Once again, space bounces off of 24, so let's see if it can't retake that level to the downside. Brendan?
Just checking on this Wilhelmina, little tiny marketing firm and talent agency, it looks like. Ty Lopez and Alex Mayer reporting a stake in this company. This thing's going crazy today, 45%. It's been halted multiple times. This is a micro cap stock, very, very low float. Just went from 11 to 12 again and halted, guys, for WHLM.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, lots of names bouncing around here. We're just going to take a time to relax and make sure that we find out some better trades. I mean, we're hot fire today. It's just, you know, we got to slow down a little bit. AMC back to those levels. We just took off a bunch of Palantir. It does come back in. Now my average price is 14 where we took this. So out there for a nice win. Now we'll wait. We just took out some 18s. We're going to go back to the high side now on PLTR. So that's that stock. I mean, I can look over at BAC. Can't believe we're down like that 4% today. I thought their report was great. We talked about that. JP Morgan holding up and looks like it wants to bounce. So I just think that a BAC bounce off rate now could happen. We've already made that low. So let's take a long here, 38.50. If we can break 38.50, I think we get back to the upside. So let's see if it holds for now. Downside right now, we'll take a little piece right now, and then we'll take a little more at 38.50. So let's go long here, 38.34. We do have the bottom at 20, so it's not horrible. I would prefer it, let's wait. I want to wait because if we're wrong, I'd rather be wrong on a level that I like. So 38.45, actually, this break right here. So we're not too far away. We could have just took 34s. Maybe we should have. 38.45 here on BAC off of a big move down on a report that I didn't feel was that bad, but I do know there's a lot of money coming out and going into the NASDAQ names such as Square, which we had earlier. Then you see NVIDIA taking off, and then AMD also running today as well. So even though it did come off its high, 81.60, yeah, let's just try to play some momentum. I'm going to take that bank. I'm going to take BAC long through these levels, guys, for whatever that was, 83.45 on BAC.
Yeah, and it's coming through that roadblock. So we're not going to get the top end break just yet, but it does touch the top end of the range. I just got the last of those shares out, 76.88. So our last entry was down here. We're going to get over $1 winner, like $1.25 or so on roadblocks. I'm going to be flat. Oddly enough, at 10:30, usually I have a little something on. It's because I don't have a small cap short that I'm usually sitting in at this time that I'm in love with. Just nothing along those lines is sort of framing itself out. But I'm going to show you what's happening here in Virgin Galactic. I got to stop to try and get some shares here when it does. Well, if it does break through that 24. But I just wanted to show you a second ago. When I tried to flip to it, 100,000 was just sort of sitting on that offer at 02, and it's trying to come to the downside. It's trying to break 24. It's not a massive level down here, but Virgin Galactic getting beaten up. I got flat at 20s, thinking there was going to be another one of these bounces that could get me short back in the 24.50 to 24.60 range. Of course, it doesn't happen. Like you take the last off, thinking it's going to give you a pop, and then of course it never does. Brendan?
Okay, guys, just checking on some of these IPOs. We have TSP app. APP coming today. I don't see app at all on the imbalance locator yet, but I'll show you this. $40 indicating here for TSP, but could still be a while. We don't have an actual time on when that will open, but we'll keep you posted. It is 10:30. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Valeria is watching. What is going on over there? What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are mixed with earnings season remain in focus. Engineering company ABB trading in Switzerland is up around 3% after raising its full-year sales outlook. Back to you.
Yeah, nicely positive here in the U.S. Earnings, and more earnings, guys.
Are there earnings, Brendan? A few. Okay. Yeah, BAC, we didn't get that number there, so we're going to wait to see where it goes from here. We still have that 38.50 on watch. And I was debating actually taking some JP here because, it's been the stronger bank today. No idea why. We had the report yesterday. That's probably why. So 150 break on JP probably worth a shot as well in case for some reason these banks get to go back to the upside here. We want to enjoy that move. So 150.50 is a better break. I'm actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to wait for this one. This 150.50 is great, but I'd rather have the BAC break. So let's wait to see if that one comes through as well. So BAC through 150.50 or what was BAC again? 38.45. So we'll wait on that one to come through. That's the trade I like better, guys.
Yeah, and Coinbase coming right back to that 330. Look, obviously it's come and gone. we've sort of missed out on that chance to get that 325 break, I should say. And look, I decided I didn't want to take it. I'm going to look right here at 330, and I am going to take this one. So it's a little bit late and $5 shy, but I'm going to be in that break. It's just testing and holding that 320 level that we like, and that'll flip me to thinking about the long side of the trade. And that would have been first at 325, but I stopped. Because of that news story. And I'm going to get right back into it. I missed a 330 on the downside. Let's see if I can get it on that upside trade. Oh. And of course, it literally just fills right now. As always, I like to scalp a little bit off when I can. So every time I take a breakout, I'm going to immediately, I don't know why I use that voice. I'm going to immediately take some shares off there wherever it happens to first stall. It's like, where does the bid go? Where did it go? Where does the bid go to? It stalled out at about like the 50-60 range, and the offer came to $1.20. So that kind of means slip some shares out, quickly take $1 when you can, and then try to hold on for the rest. So it's a bit of a two-pronged trade every single time I do it. I did the same thing when I shorted here in the pre-market. I did the same thing when I shorted 325. I would have done it if I got that 330 short. Now let's see if it can run. Of course, you look at those 5s and 10s. If it comes to 335 and there's resistance, I'll slip out for a $4 winner. If it blows through it, I'll look for 340. Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's a good trade there. 333 or so long. Yeah, these are good ones for sure now on the Coinbase long. We like that one. Definitely stamping that one if anybody's interested in Coinbase. I think that's a good long there. So good call, Neil, on that one for sure. Yeah, 330. Okay, now it's coming. Is it coming down? I don't know.
No, it's Virgin Galactic short. Like, I don't even know why I ever covered short in the stock, because it's short sell restricted, which means when you try to hit that at 24, you know you might not get it. Of course, it means I don't get, whatever, man. I didn't get to fill at 24 short. There's just no reason not to be short space today. And it is what it is. Like, this was probably the easier one because it's not just Branson that's bailing out of this. I mean, it was also Chamath bailing out of his shares as well. And if Coinbase breaks back below 330, I'll probably take it off here. It looks like it's coming right back. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's trying to hold 330 right now in Coinbase, but they're both coming out of this. They've been delaying. They've said themselves, unless they can have a better turnaround when it comes to maintenance on their ships, they're not gonna even turn a profit when they're able to do so. So look, they need to have far more development. You're talking years in the future. So you're either holding for a long period of time. If you're swing trading, you're thinking it's going to give you something in the next 2 or 3 months or 6 months, you're in the wrong place. So it's a short sell today. I don't know why I don't still have it. Probably because I suck. Either way, it's headed towards 22, I think, at some point. I just need some kind of a pop to get in. Give me an uptick. That's the only way to get back into this thing.
Yeah. I'm going to wait for 332.50 on Coinbase to go. And then if that goes in, then we'll probably just hold it back to like right back here, like 328, something like that. If it does, we can give $4 or so to the downside. If that breaks, then yeah, we're going to be wrong. But I wonder if the buying is now going to be coming in here. I know there's a lot of people that want to get involved with Coinbase, so that makes sense. Palantir, again, like we did it again on this name, so we'll just keep the money bags going through here as we now, again, I said I'm not going to talk about goals, but we're well up today. We're only losing stock at Citigroup, and we just continue to make that cash. So there goes Palantir up through 30 again. I have some 31s, 32s to try to get some out if it does go back up there. We just took a 29 fill. Remember, we're long at 14 here, guys. So a good trade on Palantir. And look, I wish it would run. There we go, double outs again on the upside. Now we'll hold the rest. I mean, as I was gonna say, I wish this thing would run. If it does, look at the NASDAQ. We're taking off here, guys. So I was really, really excited to see that move. Would rather it come back down to load up again. But this is the way I trade Palantir every day. So I'm never really part of it. Too many shares when it rips up, but we do want to make sure that we hold a little bit. And I don't really even see, if we go to a 3-minute chart, let's do a little bit of technical analysis here. VWAP is up here at 2344. Those are good breaking spots, and even 2340 may be a good spot for us as well. So we'll see if it gets back to 2350. We always play the 50, so we'll get a little bit out and then go a little more long through 2350. But right now we're celebrating this 20-cent win to go with our 35-cent win right now on AMC, which is now retesting these lows, guys. AMC, big day, man. No loss from top. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, and just going to go with Neo here and show you guys. I could probably cancel that bid. That's not going to come back down. Well, anytime soon, it's not going to come back down to 35. It is what it is. But I kind of thought we were going to get that breakdown below 35. Like every single time it sets to that level, and I kind of go back here, you get these little snaps to the downside and hold like 34.50 the one time it got down to 34. I really thought that's where we were headed for today. And of course, the opposite happens. It holds right at 35.07 technically, and then bounces the view up. That's the play I would have liked. You can still maybe look for a bit of a breakout here. I mean, you could call it 36. That might be a little bit more clean. Or maybe we can get a dip off of VWAP and some consolidation at 35.25. That's probably the only other way we're going to play it. We're currently $2.50 in the money on the rest of that Coinbase trade. So we did get that quick little scalp trade. That's what I like to do on breakouts. And now I'm looking at this little cluster here. It's slowed down enough that I'll take it out in front of 335. See if I still like the long and get in. Usually you can get in on every one of those 25 breaks if you like it, and then 40 is a bigger level that's looming higher, guys. So going to continue to try to be active and in and out of some of these Coinbase trades. Turn to the long side once we got that flush out and the bounce off 320 though. Brennan?
More earnings, guys. Delta quietly reporting this morning in the pre-market. The market kind of giving airlines a pass because of the pandemic, obviously, but $1.2 billion loss for Delta. So negativity here with some of the airlines, 3.25% to the downside, guys.
Yes, still negative. I mean, negative news everywhere. We haven't really traded CCL. That was Delta, so we can have a quick look at that as well. But yeah, so far today, man, it's just been like, for me, it's been a few names. Oh, update. Okay, so we're in Coinbase now. So let's see where it goes. Coinbase hopefully goes to the upside. We're long right here, 332.90. I mean, I wanted 332.50 break, and I got 90s. So just to let you guys know that that's like, 40 cents worth of slippage there. You can see the spread is about that anyways. Here we go. Nice win. I mean, like I said, we were only up 42 cents on this name before. We'll take $2 right now. We're up 332.90. I'm not getting out of this. We'll see. I know Neil has some ideas of an out, and maybe he's out already.
I just took some off in front of 335. I'm going to hang on to a little bit just in case it gets that break and it takes us to 340.
Yep, good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm the same way. I'm going to hold on to this stock here. I don't want to dump it until we get back to 328. So let's see how far this one can go. 350 isn't out of the question for me, but it has to go. We'll see. Look at this. Like, there's reserves here, man. All these are D prints. There's so much coming off, not the market. Look at it holding 334, right? It doesn't want to break it. Like, no matter what's happening here, tons of shares going through. 8 to 17 million shares. It doesn't want to break this 334. So when it does, it probably shoots right to 335. Or what happens right now, when it doesn't break it, it just tanks right down that $1. So like, it's a very slippery slope here today on Coinbase with a lot of reserve size. Like, now let's see if it breaks through 3. Okay, so yeah, it's only at 334, it looks like, that reserve, because it just moked 333 there. So good news if we're long Coinbase, but again, it needs to break back above that 334, and then we'll hopefully see it fly. But until then, we wait.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key. Like, I think it's on that march. I mean, it's hard not to believe it. Certainly that news maybe not mattering too much. Like you said, the key line was planned, right, Sean? So if it's going to be a planned sort of temporary outage or whatnot, then that's not as bad of a news as you're going to think. I want to come back to that KXIN because I did take this one off here at 250, thinking it would retest higher. Never got back in, and I would have taken 65s if I could. Original short at 284, but it looks like this is continuing to be uber weak. Very, very weak name here, guys. And Neo starting to come back. Maybe we do get that test in front of 35. But before that happens, we're going to Brendan at the big screen, and it is time for Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, nicely positive day so far. Let's figure out why the market is up 0.9% right now. The only thing really kind of lagging is the financials. There is some negativity over here as well, energy stocks and the industrial sector. But overall, the only thing really lagging is the banking sector today. We have healthcare nicely higher, tech stocks are nicely higher, and even the consumer discretionary names back in positive territory. I just noticed eBay here, 2.25% to the upside, one we haven't looked at for quite some time. Gap right beside that. There's DLTR, there's TJX, Lowe's, Home Depot, pick one, all nicely higher on the session. The travel-related names over here in negative territory. Cruise lines, hotels going to be to the downside. Offsetting, NVIDIA, 4.6%. AMD right beside it, 3.25% to the upside, leading the way as far as semis are concerned. Software names also in positive territory. The entire hardware group also in positive territory. Just saw Apple pop up there. It is 2% for Apple today. Nice move. Healthcare stocks, though, really providing most of the strength today, led by the pharmaceutical sector. The entire thing in positive territory. There's a few down here in the equipment makers that are lower, but otherwise pretty positive day. UNH, HUM, ANTM, to name a few, 2.8 to 3.5%. Healthcare stocks very, very strong on the day. As I mentioned, industrials, the energy group also negative, kind of offsetting, but consumer staples over in the corner there also in positive territory. So broad-based declines. It's only 0.9%, so not huge moves, but nicely positive, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah, I missed the Roblox break there. It took off the top, and yeah, of course it went $1.50 or so. Look, we were buying this one off the bottom. I gave you guys, look, we sort of talked about the plan of action we're going to have for the trade. Like if I was buying there to hold through the top, I would have said that. I was getting out every single time in front of the high of the day and then looking for that little breakout when it took out 77.10. I did not get the fill. And again, I think it's just not necessarily aggressive enough with some of my limit orders. So I don't use market orders pretty much ever. I can't think of the last time I used a market order. I always use aggressive limit orders. And today, it's like 3 or 4 times it had not been able to get the fill on the way into position. You'd be way more aggressive trying to get out because you got to make sure you get the fill. But on the way in, I always feel like there's a price that I'm not willing to pay if that's the style of trade to breakout. It feels like today I could have just bought market every single time and it would have worked. But it's years of experience that has me never using them, so I'm not going to start here today. Miss V is at the big screen.
Hey Neil, Microsoft is at all-time high level, and in general, big tech stocks are trading higher today. Do you guys see any opportunities for yourself in Apple, Microsoft, or maybe Facebook today?
Yeah. I mean, look, Microsoft's basically right here at like, well, it's not right here right now, but this is 260. And we talked about this with the banks, and apologies for these wicks down here, my 15-minute chart, that's pretty ugly. Maybe I'll go to the daily so I don't have to deal with it. But the 260 is rounding out. I showed you there on a higher time frame. But you did have the 10-year dipping. I sort of said it's worth bearing in mind that you did have treasury yields start to come downside, and that's weighing on the banks a little bit, and that's good for the tech names. So yeah, we just touched 14 on the NASDAQ here. If we can break through that top, you have a lot of names going through the top. Microsoft's going to be one of them at that 260. So I would certainly endorse that break, but you have to watch the futures. You can trade through the Qs as well as another way to play this, but 1400's right here, right now. Likely that we just dipped off of it and you might get a bit of a pullback and be able to buy that dip. That seems more prudent given that it's almost 11 o'clock. The dip buy usually is pretty solid at this time of day, especially like a 258.65 or 75 on Microsoft specifically. I just noticed, well, I didn't just notice, we did get the 335 breakthrough, if you can call it that, on Coinbase. So it came went up like 36, still on the onward march. I'm getting out in front of 340 for sure, the last of these shares. If I get like $7-8, I'll be very happy. And then rinse and repeat. Look for a 340 break. If we reverse now here, I'm not giving it back to break even at this point. Look, if it can't hold this level, of course, doesn't look like it's going to, I'll probably take it out in that 332-ish range and just say walk away from it. I really thought we'd get an extended move to the upside, but that's a bit of a fail break at 335. I'm glad I didn't take that breakout, instead held the 330s. For now, it still looks like it has a good shot to test 340 to that upside, and I like that break. And then 360, we talked about in our preparation how good a level that was yesterday, Sean.
Yeah, I'm holding it as well. I mean, I could have took out $4 there and didn't. So, I mean, I'm still long that Coinbase there. It goes right to VWAP. This is a 3-minute, guys. 337 there. So we're long 332.90. I guess it was only $4, but still could have had that winner, but chose not to take it, as I think there's bigger moves coming as well. So we'll wait to see on that one. And then the only other spot we did not get, I mean, we are so damn close. I don't know why I just didn't put it there. I can't predict how far these things are going to go down, but I am looking to get more longer in Palantir. Microsoft, look, that was a good question from the audience there. Microsoft is my #1 stock. That probably I've made the most money on this one, trading this for you guys on the show. You know some of the breakouts that we've been able to get on Microsoft as well. It made its high, I guess, in the pre-market today, or a couple of days ago. Was that today? Yesterday, I guess it was. 260.54. I have on board here as the all-time high. Let me find it here on Microsoft if I can. 259.19 before today. So yeah, so it's already at 52-week highs, just like we thought. So 259.70. Let's see if it busts out to the high side on that one. But it's already, this isn't going to move too much. The NASDAQ looks like it wants to fail a little bit here. It's been a great run for the NASDAQ, so we'll wait to see. I would prefer Facebook. We've talked about that. I'm long Facebook. It's been more of an aggressive buy for me. Around that 270 area. Now that I look, again, 3-minute chart here on Facebook, we're right back to some of this consolidation that we were at yesterday. Remember, we liked that 308.50 level on the downside. So obviously when it breaks to the high side, it's going to be pretty good as well. And that already happened right here, 308.50, and then we stopped at 308.50, high of 309. So maybe there's something there. Do we think the NASDAQ's going up or down at this point, really? If we fall back down, I like that trade on Facebook. I'm going to take this 308.50 and give it back to 309. So let's take a short now, give this about $1 worth of room and see if we work our way back to VWAP. Should have got short at this 308.50, but missed it. Let's start a short. If we can get it around 308.20 or so, average into 308.50 and see what happens at the day's high here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore what's going on with those futures, to be sure. And I just want to come back if I can, because look, mistrades are going to be mistrades, but we can't just get away from the stock because we didn't get the entry point. And I want to come to Roblox, which just tested off consolidation and broke 79. It has made, look, 79 was like a previous top if you go to like the original trading. And I did write down here, and I'm saying to myself, you know, I had 80. If we get to that 80 price, and I like the long into it, if we got to that 80, I was going to look for a fade. And that's just because you look at what happened at the top. You get this fantastic push off 74 a couple of sessions ago. It gets to 80, sort of stalls out, chops around in the $2 range, failed breakthrough to an all-time high. And you come in the next day at the top end of that same level, and you sort of flush right into 82 to 80, right back up to that 82 fail. Right back in 80, in a pullback, it goes to like 80, 50 here. So I look at this area, it's not quite, it never really quite got there. It came to like 79, like 65, 79, 68 technically, and starts to roll over. But, and again, this is just sort of the thought approach for me. When looking at a Roblox, you have like a 10, 15 cent spread. So, you know, when I see when it pops up and you see the high of the day at 79.68, it's not like the bid didn't get up there, right? So like if you're selling, we're selling at 50s. And that's the only reason why, like, it has to really push into 80 if you to get a bit of a position. So that's my next thought on Roblox. Of course, it's not going to hit me up there. It's not going to give me the entry point, mostly due to the 15, 20 cent spread when it gets to the high. But if it pushes any further, I'm going to start to look for a reversal. I can't cry over spilt milk that I missed out on that 77 long. It is what it is. You move on to the next trade.
Yep, exactly. So that's what we're doing right now as well. We're looking for that next trade. I've liked Beyond Meat for a while. We do have some offers now on Facebook, so we talked about that one. WFC looking like it's going to be weak. BAC, I still have the order in on BAC. We've talked about the bank stocks today as well a little bit. And right now, again, this is back to the 1-minute chart. It's just been a disaster. I thought it was going to be a good report today. So in all honesty, we thought that BAC had a chance to go, and it's not. But I still do like this break. If we can get higher on BAC, we'll take it. But it needs to go. I like a 38.45 just to make sure that I do have that in there. 38, where is it? My bid. I have to make sure I have it. Yeah. 38.46 actually. I just made sure I had my stop order in there. So that's going to be a good one. We're looking to get that. And then we just got our Palantir bottom. So that's what I was distracted with. That just flew in there. So we're only going to give this one back down to 23. We could lose now. This is too many times. 1, 2, 3 times. You hear about triple tops. Well, now you're going to find out more about triple bottoms. So watch out now on this bottom side. This is going to be the hold. I'm not going to get out of anything. If it rips up, great. If it comes down, we're gone. I'm going to wait until VWAP now. This could be the runner for me today. If it goes, great. We'll wait. I mean, I'll probably, look, I mean, I'm long here at a 13. We'll probably get some out at 25. But after that, I want to hold at least 80% back to the upside in case this 23 is the bottom. We've seen it run before. Let's hold out hope for Palantir here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent chance I've just shorted the bottom on a break-in. Again, like I missed 24s on Virgin Galactic, 2350 tried one time and failed, and then a second time it's going to try to push through here. I'm going to grab it. I was a little bit worried about a bit of a rollover potentially happening at VWAP on Coinbase, so I did take that one out. So I'm out of it. That 330 was to the long side. I still like. it still feels like a long into that 340 range. So I'm going to find a place to pick it back up. But the new position is going to be Virgin Galactic. And maybe it's the bottom, maybe it's not. But the first short I've had on in a while, I told you about Roblox. It's still sort of fading off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into this one. It is what I am looking for a little bit next. Wow, is it already 10:50? Yes, it is. That means you guys are going to the big screen. Time for Money Talks with Brennan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk about currencies and cryptocurrencies today. You're going to see a lot of the actual currencies versus the US dollar in the red today off that retail sales number, positive retail sales number. So the US dollar back to the upside today. The euro just went negative there, 0.03%. The Canadian dollar down about 0.15 at this point. British pound was red earlier, but you can see trying to get back to the upside here. Let's focus down on these. Bitcoin, 0.5%. Ethereum, though, 4.3% to the upside today. That's a daily chart over there. All-time highs again today for this one. Broke through 2,400, staying above 2,400. So a nice look again today for Ethereum. Ripple at the bottom here, 2.5% downside, but Ethereum leading the way again, guys.
Yeah. Ethereum and Cardano 150 today as well, so that's going to be all-time highs for that. I think 154 is, but Cardano nicely up as well today as crypto just continues to be the 155, 153. But Cardano nicely up today. You can see here on the daily chart. We can go a 1 minute chart. I mean, it's down a little bit. Come on. There it is. It's up from this 143 bottom. So in the last couple hours, we had a nice little run here on our friend ADA there, going to the upside. So I'm loving Cardano. I am most invested now, especially with this move upside. I'm mostly invested in Ethereum. So really happy with that move. Thank you for that call, Brendan. Okay, and Coinbase goes again $5 in the money for $4 in the money for us, and we don't take it. So I'm still thinking high side on Coinbase, and if I lose $5 on it, I lose $5. That's well worth it for me. Okay, BAC just got in, so now we take that BAC long. Now we'll wait to see where it wants to go from here. I like this play. We talked about that. If you break it down on a 1 minute, it looks great. It maybe even looks better on a 3 minute chart. We'll find out spots to get out, but I mean, this is some consolidation. So I think you got to give it at least back to the bottom. It sucks if I take this top and then wind up getting out here, but really that's 20 cents, and I think we can hold it for at least here, 65s or so, which would be that 20 cents as well. So well worth it, well based out for me. There goes Palantir back to the upside, and here goes Coinbase retesting this level once again. But hey, like I said, we were flat on it before. Now we're up $4. Good trade on Coinbase for me.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a great look. And that reversal off the bottom, you sort of lean into which direction you like, and we both like that 320 level. We were talking about it on the afternoon show, which I know we haven't done this enough times today. I know we only have 30 minutes left in this, but we come right back at 3:15 for 45 minutes into the close, power hour, whatever you happen to call it. It's always exciting. It's always a lot of fun. And the levels that we'll talk about and some of the trades that we'll make, whether or not you find them interesting or actionable, the levels matter on the next day. And we saw that here with Coinbase today, guys. So make sure you jump on over to that. A name that we talked about, I think, we did talk about that last night in the last hour, was ZOM. I don't know if we have it today, but down 11%, right back into the dollar range, looking like it wants to be a penny stock again. And it's not. I did this with Sundial, and I'm going to try it here with ZOM as well. Is when a buck breaks and it's about to go. There's a level 2 for you guys. It is short sell restricted because that 10% down. I like to take a crack at that little $1 when it tends to go. So if we get the break on ZOM, you're going to likely see me try to pop into short. I tried it once. Failed. I like a second time through to see if it can go. But if it does bounce through here, if it's the second time failing, I don't want to give this past like 01s. Like if it fills me up and I get like a midpoint or a 101 fill, a lot of times when it's trying to break through, you don't want that snapback. It can be violent for you. So you gotta be careful with that. Never want to lose like a penny or more than like a penny or two. Want to come back into NEO. I really did think we were about to get that little dip buy. Once again, a little bit too aggressive. Thought the market was rolling over. NEO really, really wanted to give me that shot. It turns around at 35.25. So it looks like a higher low is being put in. I'll maybe have to go ahead and use that as a tighter stop on NIO. Is what it is, guys. Missed that twice now to the buy side.
I'm really, really debating taking this Coinbase for this $3-4 now because it's really, this is on a 3 minute chart. It's really having a problem breaking through this VWAP right now. There's so many times like it's basically tested it every 3 minutes and failed and made new bottoms like of the close. Anyways, like that's a kind of a doji. I mean, I don't know if I can. This is kind of like a doji star right there, signaling that there's a possible reversal. So I think this is probably a good spot, man. If I can get 336.80 again, we'll probably just wind up taking that out. So, and then we'll go long if it breaks above 340, levels like that. So this is a pretty good out for us if we get VWAP again. I just should have noticed that on the 3 minute. Normally I'm looking at a 1 minute, but that's pretty clear for me there. So we probably don't get this anymore. So we might have just missed that opportunity on Coinbase, but 336, 336.50 or so. Let's put an order there. If we can grab it, we'll grab it. But right now, Coinbase back down to the downside. We did miss that opportunity. Should have got out at VWAP. I mean, it's just tested like all the way down. It's just been testing. Like this time it breaks, but it wicks higher a little bit there. And that's kind of a fluke if I get any of those. So yeah, that was a mistake. So 336.50 right back in. Now we're only $1 in the money. So we did just spit out $2. That's okay. 336.50. You're going to put the order there. Hopefully we get filled there, guys.
Yeah, and just had to take off that Virgin Galactic. We tried that little bottom pick, got greedy. I mean, it gave you a bit of scalp trade. No, it did not go down to 23.12. This got down to like 23.40. Buyers stepped up on the bid for like 40,000 shares, so we'll get bottom. We'll get out here. And again, I probably should have. The problem is I should have hung on to the double 25 shot that we had, and we got it off in front of 24 instead of and then missed the 24 even break. So that's kind of the reason. It happened on Roblox. It happened in another direction here in Virgin Galactic. But there is one more name. ZOM didn't break, by the way, guys. So ZOM holding $1 for anyone that happens to be interested in that. Sort of neglected C3AI. Enough is enough. It just made a double bottom here. So tried to break 68.50. Well, it did break 68.60, sorry, and then got like 5 or 10 cents to the downside. Now looking to retake for the second time, 70 even. I'm going to go with like the long break at 70 here on C3. Put in a double bottom, sort of reverse from thinking it could be falling over itself, and look to see if it can't reclaim those tops. Brendan?
They were a little slow to get going this morning, but both guys, Dell and this one, BMW, just making day highs once again. Now 2.5%. For VMW to the upside. Bit of a slow, kind of, sleepy trade, but going in the right direction for both, guys.
Okay, so we actually reversed into that long now on space. So we're going to see how high this one wants to go. We're already in the money 10 cents, but we'll see if we get some out here at 24. Again, 3 minute chart. I'm going to switch it back to a 1 minute chart, but the VWAP there is at 1/4. So we'll wait to see, go back to the 1 minute and see how this looks. There it is. So we just took out these levels. We should have got long 75, but by the time I looked over at it there, we were already at 80, so I just punched in. So that's why our average price right now, 81. Is it? Is that my price? Where is it there? Yeah, 81.6. So maybe it shows 82 on there. But here we go to the upside. Let's wait to see. It's got to give it back to the day's low, basically 39.40s, something like that. Right here, we'll give it back to that low, and we'll see if we now maybe have the bottom on that one. BAC. Okay, I got out of a third right here. So it came back down. It was like, okay, did I just buy the top? Maybe. We'll wait to see, but I'm going to give it back down to this low. Didn't break it. We've talked about that. Let's see if it goes upside now. No idea what's going on with BAC today other than it's just getting shit kicked right now. So we'll wait to see on the down. I mean, same thing in Citigroup. Has Citigroup even recovered? No. We went long initially on Citigroup, and we've left it alone. This one still wants to push bottoms. So, yuck for Citigroup right now. Not a good. I thought today, I mean, we started the show with, wow, what great reports there from the banks. And then now, bang, wrong on that one. Citigroup was up, what, 2% at one point, up to high 75. And then I wrote down here on the notes, it didn't matter because we haven't tested it, but it's right at the top, right in the middle there, sorry. Will Citigroup hold 76? I mean, didn't even look at 76. Will it hold 75? No. All the way back to the downside. We'll see if we have that one now. Good trade anyways. Space not moving, but I still like this one. I think we go to the upside on this. Palantir, I mean, like I said there, we put on another position. We got out at 20, then we got out at 23. So now we're still holding 70% of this long with no intentions now of getting out. I don't even have any offers out just in case I do get filled. I don't want them. So we're waiting for that one. And then Coinbase, yeah, I'm going to get this out right here if we can. Again, we're sitting at 336.50, so $1 more up, and we're out, and we'll celebrate a $3 or $4 win on this name, and then we'll try to take this high out, 340. But for right now, looking at $1 more on coin, and we'll be happy.
And going back to the well that is Quantscape here, rolls over. Look, it finally rejects that 39. You never got the pop into 40, so never really took that. It comes back below. It dipped a couple of times to 37, 65, 70 before breaking down here, really on a 38 breakdown. I'm going to take 37.50 to the short side. I got two quick long positions to go over. I just talked about that C3AI retaking 70. I actually ended up getting in at 69.98. So thank you Day Trade the World for that nice little sweeping order. That scan order, NASDAQ scan, and NIO. I got a little more aggressive. I said, why am I waiting for like 35.10, 35.15? I do pick some up in front of the 25. I have a 35.38 is my price. Still willing to buy a few more shares. So I'll get some out in front of VWAP, and if we can make the break, I'll be very pleased. On NIO, we tried bottom picking before. Just to come over to Tesla, for those of you that are watching it, load up here. Really? There it is. Okay, so Tesla on the run, trying to get back through 740. You are seeing some strength being put into this name here, so hopefully NIO can follow a little bit suit. We're trying to break out through the high of the day. Turning around off of a slight pullback off of 14,000 is the NASDAQ. So if it does roll over hard here, I don't want NIO breaking through the low of the day on me. You got to watch out for that.
We're just about to have a drink, but we'll wait on that for Hydration Nation coming through now. Okay, so space, it looks like we tried that break. I just got to give it back to the day's low here today. Yeah, Neil's talked about this, some of the shareholders selling there. It's his, I don't know that much about space, but I guess it's not good today, down 11%. We are going to hold this. Again, if you're looking to buy it, I mean, we are... I don't know what the hell's wrong with my daily chart. I've refreshed it a bunch of times. We're really low on space, man. I mean, this was up to $60. Like, you want to talk about something falling down. We're trying to catch a little bit of a falling sword here, but I think this is a good spot for me. So we'll wait on it, see what happens. We just got into Facebook short as well. So that's come through. We talked about getting that at the quarter. So now we're short at 20. We'll wait to see if it does take out the highs upside. If not, I'm going to build into the short. And then if you can't see this level, then I don't know. 307.60 will get out. So this will be like a 60-cent win if we can get it, but I'm going to put a bid there. I don't know if we take out this bottom. What a great little barcode that was downside, but let's put a bid here. Even right here is fine, 75. So we'll see if we can't take a 50-cent win here on Facebook. I like the short. Let's see if it can come down. We'll take this out around the 75 mark.
The only thing missing from this rollover in QuantumScape is actually coming all the way down to 37 even and hitting my bid. So a bit of a rollover. We're back at the well again. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and it's very cold. And I'm not getting revenge on space, but you were just talking about it. It's very cold in space, and that's how much of a nerd I am that I would drop that ridiculous line. C3AI, basically the same thing has happened, just in the other direction. So we bounce up. Off of that 70 even, it tries to get to the 50s where I'm going to take some profit. I look at that chop here and hoping I want to hold to see if we can't break through all the way to 71 and then use 71 for another entry point. You kind of look at that lower high, you kind of look at that level in the pre-market and say to myself, why not take another entry point if I can get it? So two longs, NIO flat, in the money on C3, but it just bounced away from my offer for the 50-cent win. And of course, ZOM is short sell restricted. That does mean that when it breaks, I was trying to get ones, I didn't get them. You can see there. I'll see if I can't pick up a short in front of $1 here. But when something is short sell restricted, you can throw an offer in and you can hope to get it. There are no guarantees whatsoever. Let's see if we can't get a fill in front of it. Brendo?
Yeah, I just saw a couple people talking about Snap. Guys, Snap up 3% here. Just broke 64. Volume not the greatest today, but it was an upgrade from Cohen on this one as well. Snap has been pretty strong past couple of weeks, guys.
Okay, guys, and we did it on coin, so let's go hell yeah with a little Superman action there as we get back nicely in the money now on coin. We were flat before this trade, and then there's the out, and now it looks like we took it too early, but that's okay. I mean, we talked about that. I mean, it would be $1 more now in the money for us, but whatever. We did take that out, going to the upside now. We'll find out another spot to get back into that one. I was talking about 340. I don't know about that anymore, as there's nothing really there. It could be this 339 level for coin, but that's the level that we're looking at right now. 337.50 maybe on a break. I'll probably take that, a 337.50 break on coin. But that looks like a good out as it's coming back to the downside. So we'll celebrate that. A nice little $4 win. 332, I can find it exactly. Was it $3 or $4? It was, $3.50. So right in the middle there, a nice win for coin. Let's take it out again if it goes higher than 338. We'll take another shot at Coinbase.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to be done with that particular name. And just to come back to Dell, if only because it's at 100, this was that price that we were talking about earlier. So it's an interesting test. We thought it could be a better trade sort of after the market settles itself down a little bit. It's a pretty thinly traded stock in the pre-market. Now that we're at 100, I like this to take a shot at rollover. I did think initially that most of that was built in. I thought the dip would be maybe it would go a little bit lower and test a kind of like a 94, 95 area. It did bounce. That's a wick down here. The real volume was at 96. It did try to bounce off of it. It did successfully do so. I'm just looking for a short, thinking that most of this is baked in profit-wise, and really just thinking it's a little bit too far. We just broke 14 on the NASDAQ, yet I'm still flat on NEO. Let's see if C3AI can go. And of course, I wanted to come back to Microsoft when that break would happen. Microsoft did not break through the high. So the NASDAQ went, Softy did not go. So we still have a chance. If this move can extend, you can get Softy through the top, which I'm going to like.
Yep, we talked about liking Softy through that top. Yeah, good little look there. We are short Facebook now, 12 cents in the money. Good trade here on FB. Hopefully, we're going to ring that register for a nice little win there. We don't know. Hopefully, we'll come down to 307 and we'll get filled right here at 307.75 or so on FB. So looking for that fill to come in now. I think it does. We'll just wait for it now. That's all we can do. Patience sometimes is a virtue that I do not possess. But for right now, I think this is a good one. Wish we got more short there on Facebook. We did not. We'll just wait to see here. There looks like there's some action there. That was an in and out quickly based on a keystroke error that I made. Put the wrong price in. I put in 308.75 instead of 307.75. So we're back into that short now. And if you make those mistakes, man, just get out. Just get right back in. If you make that kind of mistake. So here we go. Now we're going to try to get this down, man. It's going to be a 50-cent win if we can grab it. I like this short here on FB. Yeah.
Speaking of short, let's flush Quantscape down. Well, hopefully it'll flush here. If you're a shareholder, apologies for that. Flush it down the toilet. But getting a little bit of revenge on the rollover. And I tried to wait for a break upsides for it to go, maybe squeeze further to get into something higher. It just never happened. And I was just probably too early here at 38. I kind of realized that now. I look back and say to myself, well, why didn't you let it actually test and then really start some selling? And when this sell happened, say to yourself, okay, well now I like the short if it gives you another shot. And it actually did. So more patience would have got me a short around the 38.50 to the 38.65 range. Instead, I'm waiting for it to break down. We're taking a quick little scalp of 40 pennies. Wanted 50, but I didn't have to take 40, but I can't show you because they moved away. There was just was a little bit of a buyer here in front of that 37. It was at 37.10. Throwing 11,000 shares out there that I just jumped in front of and said, forget it, I'll take 13s. If it breaks through that, I think we have a good shot to retrace back to 36, where there might be a bit of a bounce on QuantumScape. As far as NEO goes, are you serious? Look, it gives me the 10-cent scalp, fine. I'm going to take it off another leg in front of VWAP, fair enough. I'm going to load back in if it goes back down to 35.25, but it just cannot seem to break. The market's going, Tesla's trying to hold and trying to break through 740. If it does, hopefully it carries NEO with it. Brendan, what's up?
I've been mentioning a couple of times some gold stocks, guys, moving today. Look at GDX, the mining ETF, gold miners ETF, just making a day high here on a huge volume spike as well. So now 4.5% if you want to look at an ETF, GDX. Guys.
Okay, so it looks like I'm going to give it all back in coin again here. Actually, maybe all of it. If we break to the downside, I took a 335.50 bid there. It's bounced off a couple times. Thought that would be a little bit cute and sit there and try to play the range. But now we're getting range bound squeeze to the downside right now on coin. So watch out. This 332.90 could be coming into play. It's going upside right now, but the seller just keeps on. They can't break. Watch, they're not going to be able to break this 73 guy. They're trying. There's so many off-market prints. It's ridiculous. But see, they can't break. It's almost like it wants to halt a bit. But they can't break that. It's going to go to the downside. We're going to get out on this flush. So it's just there's a big sell pressure right now. No idea why, but it seems to be like 73, 53. Here's 73 again. There it goes. Okay, so it's gone. So there we go. That makes me feel a little bit better. Let's see if Coinbase now can go back to the upside, but it doesn't look like it. That was some pretty hard selling there over the last couple minutes. Just sell to the downside there. So we are long Coinbase at 335.50. So $2 out right now. We already took a $3.50 winner. So we'll try to take that on the losing side, but not good. Now it's back up. So let's see how far Coinbase can go. If we can get this out at 338, I think that's a good spot for us.
Yeah, I'm sort of looking I'm looking at the same thing, but I see that 332.50, and let's say to myself, the last time it broke here, I was looking at a 330 break, which I'm going to go ahead and cancel, and I wasn't aggressive. I'll actually think about 332 and just take a crack at this if it breaks to the downside out of this range. I mean, this is clearly a bit of a downtrend. I know I got reversed to the idea of the long. Once we got that test off of 320, that was all kinds of support. I think it might be giving you a 340 break and then a 330, I'll call it 332 breakdown. I don't want anything in the middle. Where did that come from on QS? Let me see if I can get the level 2. Let me get the level 2 up for you guys, because QS right here, just about to chew through a 37. Now remember, short sell restricted means it's the uptick rule. So all these guys that are trying to hit that 37, it was just a monster bid there at 37 that got taken. I'm short at 37.50, but just wanted to show you people trying to pile into that short or cover some of those longs. The aggressive guys are covering the longs. Now I look to see if it can't test down to 36. I'm going to stay away from Coinbase until it breaks out of the range. But Tesla just rolled over off of that 740 level. So I'm going to trim some NEO at about break even and then look to see if it goes any further. I can maybe get a dip buy in the 20s instead of sitting here in the mid 30s.
This is so crazy. It's almost like I'm doing this on purpose again. So Coinbase, I just got out there. Like look at this. So now my net on Coinbase is $1.68. So we go from up 42 cents to, up on this move. We take that $4 or $3.50, and then we lose the $3.50 back. So the math is working out, at least. I just wish my trades would work out a little bit better. We did get out on that bottom there, but we're still positive on Coinbase. But yeah, this one's a slippery slope for me, as it could go either way right now here on Coinbase. So watch out. I'm going to stay away from it until we do break through on some levels. Just checking back on PLTR, and it's kind of a sleeper right now, not doing a whole hell of a lot, waiting around to try to make a move. I told you we're not going to scalp any more out, so let's see if we go to the high side now on PLTR. That's my next play. AMC still doing absolutely nothing as well, kind of barcoding around this area, like we like to say. So let's wait to see if that has any moves to the upside. That is AMC, but still looking at this bottom. Let's just put an order at 70, see if we can't get out of our AMC trade here. It's not doing anything. We'll put that money in our pocket. We're still short 30 cents in the money, so let's not turn a winner, like Neil says, into a loser. This one's not going to be a loser for sure, but worth taking it out and just putting that money in our pocket.
Yeah, and I thought we'd get a bit of a dip there in NEO here, but it just sort of bounced away. I'm going to cancel that. I had a bid down around 25. I might go ahead and cancel it. I said I'd take some off at break even, and the chance that it'll dip even further and give me a better price defending that 35 area. So I kind of want to stick to that plan. I can tell you that Quantscape just made a big sort of like retest of 37 here. It flushed into 70s, 36 70s, and then got bought right back into 37, sort of slammed back down. So I like consolidation in this range. If it does that long enough, it gives me a chance to slide a trail stop for 50-cent winner and then look for the other 50 cents to the downside. So hopefully it just hangs out here for a while and I can put that play on. Still holding, of course, the short position that we have. Brenda, what's up?
One we've been discussing over the past week or so, guys, on the NFT side of things. Playboy, PLBY, just popped up here on volume. So you can see it just went from 39.5, I guess, to 41.5. Day highs, 12.5% again for PLBY.
Yeah, I mean, the NFT space is insane, and we've talked about that over and over again. So, if you like that space, Playboy, a good one, definitely to get into. I think there's a lot of opportunity for them if you do believe in that space. So, check out your local Playboy for some NFT possibilities there. Okay, as we're going, guys, AMC, the downside, we talked about that. We're still waiting for space to pop. I like that. But there is a new trade alert right now. You may see it on the bottom, and it's my boy is finally being traded here on the show. PaySafe now taking out this high. Let's see. This order's been long. I mean, this was on the sticky note forever there at the very bottom, long through 14.25. I wrote down 14.30. We take the 25 print. Let's just see where this one wants to go to the upside right now. That's PSFE, PaySafe, trying to go, but not really doing anything. So just the reason why I like this one, it was yesterday's high right there. This is definitely worth a hold, at least back down to VWAP. Let's be wrong on this one if it's going to happen. So we do have some consolidation right there. I could get out here, 14, 15, 16, but I kind of like this level a little bit better. So we could hold it all the way back down to 88. I mean, maybe we'll do that. Let's see if it takes out the day's low maybe. that's a good little spot for us. But you do have, if you're nervous about the position and you think that, maybe the market pulls back, and this hasn't been acting properly, so we'll see. But 14.10 is a good spot to get this out. I'm going to hold pay safe. No real levels to the upside as it's just kind of breaking out, I thought, now. So if there's any levels, we've stopped at 14.50 before. So that could be something. Maybe we put a little bit of an order there. But I think this thing has a chance to go. So 14.40s, we'll get out of like 30%, and then we'll see if it goes higher. But a new position alert here for pay safe long at 25.
Speaking of new positions, just got into that Roblox. We said we wait for 80. It just recently broke 80, got up like 12 cents exactly, and then came back in. So that's that little failed break that I'm looking for at a key particular price area. I just jumped into it at 79.88 here. And look, if it rolls over, I'm not even thinking. Look, I'm not thinking about VWAP. I'm not thinking about 77.50. I'm not thinking about 77. If it pops down, gives me a nice little trade into 79, I'll be very, very happy with that. Maybe hang on to like a third of it just to see if it can't push somewhere into the 78 range. But again, it's a bit of a top pick here. Showed a lot of strength. Go to the higher time frame so you can see. Showed a lot of strength into that same 80 range, and you can see the rollover next day. When it pops back into here, it's going to take a shot. If history repeats itself, I take advantage of it. It's a relatively tight stop, 20 cents or so, 25 cents plus slippage to see if you can't get back down to like 79 for the bulk of the position. I don't think that's bad risk to reward. Of course, I was long it this morning. We had some success, and then I missed on the 77 break, which sucks. But you got to move on to the next trade, and for me, that was a short up here at 80.
There is some size here on PaySafe, some ARCA here at 22 and at 20. So there is something there, at least, to protect us. So I just put an order in the 40s. We'll see. And then I just want to tell you guys that I lied a little bit here because I just took another piece off. We're still holding 60% long. Now there's no more. It's just how many times, like bounce, bounce, bounce. It's money. I'm seeing it in the pocket there. So I am taking a little bit out, no doubt, on that one. So we are taking some out here on Palantir at that 22 level. I want to hold for VWAP, so we'll see. Follow me on Twitter. I'll post that out if it gets up there. Well, you'll know it gets up there anyways. So we're waiting for that one. That is Palantir. Good out there, I think. PaySafe not moving. Facebook, we're getting ready. There it is. Yes, sir. We went into that one. We went back into it, I should say. Got that short, so really happy with the way this played out. We just shorted upside there, 60s. We said we would play it into 09s. Then we get out. So now, our average price was 40. So now you're just seeing me take that out there at 07. So that's a 35-cent win there on Facebook. Loving that one. And we'll just see if it wants to continue to make that move now to the downside. We do have our bids in the 70s still here on Facebook. So waiting out for that one. I think we got it. So that's going to be a good trade for us. I'm hoping anyways, if we can get back into this area. I do have a bid just to confirm it. Yeah, 307.76. What up, E?
Just looking around at a few other things that are moving today. Ardelyx, another little one. Biotech company to the upside in a big way, 15%, recent highs here. They picked up a milestone payment from a Japanese partner on product that they're working on. So ARDX positive today, guys.
I didn't mean to crash a plane into Brendan. I had already hit it by the time I heard we're supposed to throw it to him, but I just talked about that Roblox. And this is one of, we'll try to discuss things before they happen. It's very embarrassing to have this gap in my chart. I wish I could say that this was me long and then reversing at 80, but certainly I missed out on the bulk of that trade on the long side. And then the rollover short is intended to be a little bit more shallow here. So I talked about getting out some in front of that 79. I'm going to hold on to the final third, like I said, just to see if we can't pop down into that next range, like the 68.50-ish range. So could have gave you in advance what I was waiting for on Roblox. I love when you go and counter trend to allow it to break 80 because I kind of figure some shorts that have already put the trade on in this consolidation. I've been that guy in the past. Are putting a stop at that 80 when it breaks. They're going to cover. The other thing is you have some longs that might enter into a trade on an 80 break, and they're covering as well. So when that happens, you get into position, and suddenly, when they're like, well, I don't want to give it past 75, I don't want to give it past 60, you get some of that acceleration to the downside. So I like that sort of risk to reward idea for that particular trade. What's not working is NIO and TC3AI, my two longs. The other short, QuantumScape, that we do have, looks like it's finding some legs at that 70. So I said if it consolidated long enough, that I would take it off when 37 went. I'm just going to go ahead and do that, bank some of that profit. It's going to only end up being like a 40-cent winner for me. But my read wasn't the best on this earlier on. It was stronger than I anticipated, so I don't want to end up on the wrong side of this at this particular time of day with only like 10 minutes to go in the show. It is getting into lunchtime. NIO, Now I've got back in front of that 35. So we got the quarters. I said I'd wait for quarters. Now we have the quarters. If it breaks low of the day, I'll give it to 35 even. That's my long bet on them. And of course, C3 AI doesn't want to cooperate for me. Maybe I got greedy with this one because twice it tested 40s here. I took nothing off. Now looking like it wants to pull back. If it's a breakout trade, I don't want to give this pass. Like if I wouldn't take a 40-cent winner, I don't want to lose more than 40 pennies on this one. It's the middle of the day. I can always look for a bigger trade in C3 AI, especially during power hour when we come back at 3:15. I think there'll be better looks on C3 AI if it can't go here.
Yeah, I was agreeing. Yeah, I mean, we can always trade these things at the end of the day. Join us at 3:15 as we're coming back live for the fastest 45 minutes in YouTube, on YouTube. I'm going to go long again, 333.50 here on Coinbase, and just give it down to 330. I guess I'm not giving this enough room. I don't know how Coinbase, you know what? Forget that. I'm going to cancel that Coinbase. I was thinking about doing that, but no, we'll pass on that for now. Okay, AMC, just want to give you a brief little rundown on this one. We did get in and out of 777 there. I just didn't want to wait for that drop to happen. It did happen, but I was just like, you know what? If we take out 80, then I'm going to be paying 85. So I sort of bit the bullet there, took the 77s. It did fall back down a little bit, but that's just one of those trades that we're going to have to watch out for. Facebook does go into the money for us there again, but we still are playing this high side move. If it takes out that 309.50, we're going to be gone. We talked about not getting any more. I'm just trying to review some of the trades that we have on right now. We're talking about not getting more into out of Palantir. We're going to hold that. And then the trade that I think can work for us, again, the ARCA's gone now. I don't know if it got filled. I don't think so. But 2 million shares. There's some bid side here, which is pretty good for us on PaySafe. But I really had thought, I mean, I guess we got to 30, whatever, that's nothing. I'm not gonna take 5 cents. I thought that this would have been a good breaking spot on PSFE. It was the high basically yesterday right here at 25. So thought some action into that would be good, but obviously wrong. We're gonna hold that back until, I give it back to 14. If 14 breaks, it probably goes to 90. So we'll get out of about 2/3 of it at 14 and we'll hold a little bit, hopefully for the afternoon show to show you where this thing goes. We can be wrong on something, that's for sure. It looks like PaySafe doesn't want to go right now, but I'm still a buyer of it. We'll go into the 40s. 1440 would be a good spot for PSFE. What's up, Brenda?
Quick update, guys, for those waiting for these IPOs today. TSP down to a very, very small sell. 40.30 on the indication, 40.35, 40.40. Let's not stay on that. 1.6 million shares paired at 1.7 million shares paired at this point. I'll show you this APP as well. Apploven, 76 indication, 1 million paired. Guys.
Okay, I mean, certainly going to, like, and we sort of anticipated that this was going to be the case. I mean, that you're not going to get opens until closer to lunchtime when everyone's eating and relaxing. Whether that's intentional or not, I really don't know. I kind of feel that maybe it might be. I did not, stock scanner, I did not go for the long in Coinbase. Monitoring is Roblox, by the way. Got my second target. It does not push it into the 78.50 range. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, like, I usually would give it to the high of the day, but once I get those profit targets, I kind of go into this, like, if it's able to take out, break even for me where it consolidated, which is that 78.85, 79.85 area, I'll just get out. Very likely if it touches here, it's touching the top anyway, so I'm just saving myself like 20 to 25 cents. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I can throw that stop and then maybe move on to another position. At this time of day, I'm usually thinking like one thing at a time. If I see something I really, really like, I'm getting into it. Don't want to be forcing trades. If they're not just right, you don't have to put them on at lunchtime. If you can find something low risk, go ahead and do it. I missed out on what would have been that in ZOM, but it's short sell restricted. So, I wanted the one break. I can want that trade when ZOM broke one, all I want is the short side, but you can't just hit the bid. It's not that simple. Yes, there was that little push. We were talking about that 330, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do a 330 stop. I probably should have done the 332 though, because that would have given you a good scalp. It still has a chance for that breakout, and I still kind of believe in that 340. That's what I'm waiting for. Did I want to buy that little dip? The support is 320. I probably would have taken a shot at 325 where I missed that first breakout. So I don't want to get involved in these like, sort of mid prices. It's either going to give you the break at 340, which I think takes you to the 50s and 60s, or we actually get a real dip retesting that low, which I kind of feel like it hasn't done yet.
People talking a lot. I see you guys, Riot, Mara, so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. This is a big move today. And this is what I'm saying. If you're trading crypto and you're trading Mara or Riot against crypto, it's not going to work out. for you to a 1-to-1. I mean, it's a great hedge. It's a great, not even a hedge, I guess. If you're long Bitcoin, I guess you could go short Riot. But like from top to bottom here, we're down to 46. Like this is what Bitcoin's doing right now. Nothing. Well, I mean, it's not doing nothing. It is coming to the downside, but far from like making big moves. This is a 1-minute chart. It's just kind of hovering around. We're not even at the low of the day yet here for BTC. So very surprising. I don't know, Brendan, if there's news at all on Riot. Let's check out Mara quickly as well to see if that's suffering. What?
Oh yeah,
that's suffering the same
man.
fate. SOS, that's on the Amex, I believe, right? No, that's on New York. Their SOS, is this crashing as well? Yeah, like that actually rebounded pretty nicely. I don't know. You guys know any news? I mean, I don't see anything, but obviously something is happening there because I don't see. Crypto doesn't seem to be going down as much. It is going down, don't get me wrong, but like this Mara move down 10% here and still looking like it wants to go. So I don't know. My chart's not loading, but there it is. Like, do we find a bouncing spot here? Oh, well, right at the 50 period. That's good. Again, I don't know if this is accurate. I don't have to report this. I don't know what's going on with my charts because I've logged back in and out. But 38, this may be a good little spot here. If you think that was over nothing, take the long here on Mara.
Yeah, and it's just, look, I mean, SI is down 5%. You're seeing it sort of across the board of those names, and that's why, look, I mean, you can trade the Purpose ETF, you can trade GBTC. We just had Jeff Mendel on the beginning of the show, good friend. It's just a little bit easier sometimes to be trading the actual spot because you get these oversized moves, which is fantastic. Because actually, if you're looking for the short in some of these plays, another breakdown in coin just happened, so it's starting to get very. I don't know why that didn't flip. It's starting to get like very, very range bound here, and I sort of lean into the idea that you're going to have to wait for a break. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Neo continues to be a pain in the butt, thorn in my side, whichever one you want to call it. Got a small scalp win here, then took some out. I just wanted to lighten the load, thinking it's about to test the low of the day. Instead of being long like 35, 39, I can just get out flat and then get back in and be long 30, 35, 25 if I think it's going to be going lower. So save myself a little bit of money, figuring the market's rolling over and Neo's looking weak. But I'm still going to hold it till the low. For now, it looks pretty dicey. I do have exposure to one short left. And I adjusted my stop over here in Roblox from high of the day to basically break even. If we flush through, this 85 area that we're at, I'll probably just, sort of trail it back into like 79.50 and then see how far we can go. Once we enter this range, I'm thinking, can I get 78s, rip off $1.50 to almost $2 in front of VWAP, or I'm going to end up with like a 40 or 50 cent winner looking for that little home run at lunchtime, guys. So it is what it is. Roblox is trying to break downside here. It was a great long. Now we're just playing the pullback. The market is teetering at highs of the day and trying to pull off.
Yep. And I'm going to get this out. There it is. Yes, sir. We just take a big win there. What, 70 cents or so? Yeah, 77 cents on Facebook. Short, out. We waited for that 75 level. We got it. Bang that to the, wow, still going to the downside. But yeah, we have that trade, man. A big win for us here on Facebook, as you guys can see. Shorts and out. A good trade there. You guys asked about which major cap stock we wanted. Facebook to the short side. Hi, Valeria. What's up, Brandon?
About that time, guys. I didn't even realize what time it was. Let's have a look at some earnings coming up after market tonight before the open tomorrow. Oh, man, eHang is on there.
Oh, my favorite. Yeah, eHang. Hopefully we'll see. Not eBang, remember, eHang. A lot of weird names going on. Ally there. Oh, Alcoa. Morgan Stanley. I mean, the banks continue. Lots of names. I don't know what that logo is on the bottom left, but that looks kind of cool.
It is cool looking. I have no clue what it is either. State Street, I don't care. But Morgan Stanley, look, the banks are all under pressure today. So it is what it is. Morgan goes last. And I kind of said it under my breath when Goldman was running, and I didn't, but it's not the worst idea to have taken some profit going into that when you got the pop in Goldman Sachs. Then maybe it was a good idea to take some profit on Morgan Stanley. Candidly speaking, I did not. I still hold on to it going into earnings, but this is a long-term play. I want to hold it, forever, I guess, is the way to look at it. But they are showing a lot of weakness going into those earnings. We got to watch out for again today. You're making me hungry. Miss V, one last thing before we get out of here, guys. What national day is it?
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, I hope you're all having a good day so far. We'll be back at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And please don't leave without giving us a like. We need just 400 more likes to reach at least 2,000 of them. Happy National Glazed Spiral Ham Day.
What was that?
Glazed
You know what?
ham.
I mean, ham. I don't know. Spiral ham. I guess just, with the bone in the middle. I'm a fan of cooked ham, but that's not my favorite. So I always pass. When it comes to like the big get-togethers, I'm always more like of a roast beef kind of guy. I'll prefer
Both.
that with
You can
turkey,
have both.
stuff like no, there is both, but I would grab the roast beef or the turkey ahead of said ham.
Okay, roast beef, yes. I can't put turkey above the ham there. The key is a quality mustard. The mustard has to be good. I'm not into the cheap. You can put the cheap stuff on like a hot dog. Even a hot dog, I don't like putting the cheap stuff on. But yeah, you gotta have quality ham when it comes to mustard when it comes to the ham. Brendo, your thoughts?
Definitely. Our family used to be all over the ham, especially for Easter, but it's been a long time, unfortunately, since we've been able to do that. So yeah, I like roast beef as well. You have to have the gravy somehow. Got to have some gravy on something.
I'm loving horseradish as well. Like you get a nice little sauce there with that. It's very, very beautiful. But yeah, thanks for that look on ham there. That's probably what's going to be. We always get ham sandwiches and stuff, so I bet you that's what's going to be today for lunch.
Decent chance it is. What you guys are going to get before we get out of here is, of course, we're coming right back at 3:15 for the fastest 45 minutes on YouTube, as Sean says. And I think it's a fantastic saying. We should like copyright it or something. But we'll be coming back. It's going to always be good. You know, Coinbase is moving. You see some banks also on the move as well, and the market pulling back off of 14,000. But until then, down the line, Ms. V, my man Sean Katina, Brennan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. Stay tuned for a look at Day Trade the World Knowledge, and come back at 3:15. Bye, guys.